Yeah. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. Only Jah know when I'm feeling like I'm feeling. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. When I need Him, like I need Him. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. When I'm feeling like I'm feeling. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. When I need Him, like I need Him. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. Whenever things get tough, whenever things get hot, I pull out Moses and head up to the mountains. I fall up on my knees and then I pray non-stop. I say my blessings up, you let your blessings dry. That's what I've always done, what I've always seen, my granny always do. And she taught to me, I'ma teach to mine, my little kings and queens. Whoa, when I'm feeling like I'm feeling. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. When I need Him, like I need Him. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. Another day goes by, another plot revealed. One a planting farm, one a rob and steal. One have a hard love story, said he needs a meal. Need to feed him kids, correct and know him feel like just giving it up because his faith is sealed. But never place your bets before the deal a deal. You know the heart is fire, makes the heart steel. Like I'm feeling. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. When I need Him, like I need Him. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. Even if I'm breaking inside, He forsaken me never. No, 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 no. My faith is stronger than pride. Jah is with me forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever. Forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, got a nice convo coming up for y'all in a minute. All right. We got a special convo coming up real soon. Let's go on, stay tuned. It's a vibe, all right? Squeezing something right now for the album, Ultra Reals. It is a vibe.
Yeah. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. Only Jah know when I'm feeling like I'm feeling. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. When I need Him, like I need Him. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. When I'm feeling like I'm feeling. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. When I need Him, like I need Him. Jah, you never yet let me down. I say you never yet let me down. Whenever things get tough, whenever things get hot, I pull out Moses and head up to the mountains. I fall up on my knees and then I pray non-stop. I say my blessings up, you let your blessings dry. That's what I've always done. What I've always
Massive, what you ready for me? What up, Bev C?
And she talked to me.
Just DeAndre, what's up? Bobby Dean.
Whoa.
We're streaming all on the wrong platforms, but we're streaming nonetheless, not true. That's what we do. Got a convo coming up with a dope Mason Emperor in a minute. Talking about his brand spanking new album. Jah bless me. So tell your friends to tell their friends. This is where it's at. Large up Julie. I see the Julie experience. I'm my damn.
Another day goes by, another.
I'm just saying. He finds in these streets is crazy.
Have a hard love story, said he needs a meal.
Big up everybody celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, any good thing. So much crosses are going when I'm celebrating of late.
You know that
we're gonna celebrate them things. I mean, some things. Again, we're going Far East today. Headed over to Japan to converse with the man himself, Mr. Emperor. He's gonna be joining us today. Ain't nothing but a thing, the truth. Ain't nothing but a thing. Merry Monday to you too, Julianne. Oh, get on the Biggie sound. Oh, baby, baby. Lots of those people listening in on radio. My YouTube peeps. Matter of fact, share the link, yeah, man, because my YouTube peeps, I'm left them out all the time. But I'm not. Got y'all covered today. Okay. Okay. All the good folks over there at Jamaicans.com. Okay. Love Doctor series coming up real soon. Okay. All the eligible bachelors and bachelorettes, get ready. We're going to talk about some things. All those worthy of love. All those undeserving. Everybody get a platform to talk. Crosses and everybody. Good people, bad folk, hoochies and all. We love every one of y'all. I'm just saying. Everybody need love, man. That's why the Love Doctor is here to make sure it happens. Let him play some Miss Emperor, all them things for you. Romantic joy.
I just love and do it forever, you know. Call him on his name. I just shout the gratitude to you.
This one's called Peace of Mind is a Holiday. The latest one. Got more stuff coming. Today's show is brought to you courtesy of Scented Delight Candles, all right?
Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take.
I love it.
And every time that I make
I'm melodramatic and all that, don't you?
It just blows my mind away.
Nah.
It's such a blessing to be alive in this world that we all reside. And you can call it to what you want to. I just love.
Comes with the lights on everything. You light your candle. I'm burning out crosses all the same time.
Sitting here and watching
all the same time.
I read them a book and I tell them stories. You should hear the things they say. And every time somebody greets me, says hello, I take it easy. I say hello now, how you feeling? You be safe, it was a pleasure meeting you. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday. And
Chops, what going, fam? What up?
Time that I make my journey, it just blows my mind away. There's no reason to get upset. Just says to do your part and he's gonna do the rest. Don't hurt your heart, it only causes stress. You may not realize it, but you're truly blessed. And I know sometimes it's hard. You worked all day and you don't see rewards. Come on, my brother, let down your guard. Aim for the skies, you might just reach the stars. I know it's money that you're trying to make, but if you're tired, you should take a break. It's not worth it if you break down. There's just a way too much at stake. Take a vacation if you want to. Spend some time with the ones that want you to be okay, because they love you. Oh my God, I said I wanna thank you. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make my journey, it just blows my mind away. Whoa, whoa, I say you're never gonna get me down. Oh no.
Thank you for rocking as always.
If you want to spend some time with the ones that want you to be okay, because they love you. Oh my God, Chico, just wanna thank you. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make my journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away.
This is when you want to say J Code, legal businessman. Bang, bang.
I mean say this a protege, homegrown with G Cole, what you say, but make them know what reggae music we a play, this is Protege, the one and only representing for G Cole, you know. Check it, ease out.
And we said them not got no style like we. G Cole, them not got no style like we. None of them no wicked, no wild like we. Accurate, Kabaka Pyramid representing for the #1 selector and radio host. It's all about G Cole, keep it locked. Accurate.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Kali. I'm hanging out with your boy G Cole on the Homegrown Show.
Yes. Welcome one and all. It is Homegrown with G Cole coming to the Massive and Crew live across the globe. We got a dope show for y'all today, man. When I say it's a dope one, it's a dope one. I mean, we got a special convo coming your way. We're going to be chopping it up with Mr. Mason, the Emperor, singer-songwriter, all right? Reggae extraordinaire. I tell you, say, they're showing them clapping, man. Them clapping like some cymbals out in the streets. You know, them clap like firecracker. You see? Gotta talk like this since I'm an English people. Come on, because I can't help myself. You know what I mean? Can't help myself, man. But I want to tell you, say, yo, some big things coming up. We're talking about the album. The album is called Jah Bless Me. And believe it or not, I feel that way every time I leave my house, like, Jah bless me. You know what I mean? I want to pick up all the beautiful ladies out there because today's dedicated to you also. And remember, today's show comes to you courtesy of Scented Delight Candles. I love them. I love them. I love them. Candles. Now, I mean, my favorite candles nowadays. Again, if you told me 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I'd be saying I'm a candle guy. I'd say, get out of here with that. You know what I mean? But I dig them. I ain't gonna front. I'm the official candle connoisseur. Know what I mean? Candle game up. If y'all candle game ain't up like mine, then just is what it is. You know what I mean? Just is what it is. Again, thank you all so much as always to all my frontline people, essential people we call them, nurses, doctors, paramedics, first responders, all the good folks that do what they do. All right. Those people in emergency rooms, gotta big them up. Gotta big up those people working in pediatrics. I gotta big up my radiology folks. I gotta big up just everybody, man. Mental health professionals, social workers, guidance counselors, everybody. All right, thank y'all. We need y'all. If never, I know we need to know. Trust me, it's not pretty out here. You know what I mean? Again, big up the good folks over there at Jamaicans.com. Those people watching on the Homegrown G Cole platform. All those people watching also on, you know, some of my title then at the wrong places to this. I'm a cross stream right about now, so that thing over where the thing's supposed to be, so that I don't hear say, yo, G, you might set a thing proper. You know what I mean? Because you know, sometimes people then be like, yo, this brother, him a little bit off. You know what I mean? He ain't putting in the right places. So I put in the right place for you right now so you can see. You know what I mean? Just go over to facebook.com/mygcole. Is this or the thing there? You know what I mean? Or One Love Jamaica for Jamaicans.com. I want to big up. Listen, all my birthday people, all the people celebrating birthdays. Empress Unique, I celebrate the Earth Strong. Happy birthday. All right. Happy birthday. Kashif Lindo celebrating the Earth Strong. Happy birthday. Whole bunch of other people celebrating birthdays, man. It's a dope month. Dope month. Dope month. All right. I want to big up all the musicians, all the producers, everybody out there putting in good work, keeping us inspired and entertained. You know what I'm saying? So that the thing can go on. We need it, man. I ain't gonna front. We need it. There's a lot of stress, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. So we need the inspiration right about now. I will say this. I've been accused of not being able to walk and chew gum at the same time. And up until maybe a couple weeks ago, I would have said, no, it's nonsense. Not true. Don't be like that, right? Until I tried giving somebody some directions to get here while I was on here. And I give them the studio street address and my home city and zip code. And it created a little bit of a problem. You know what I mean? Tasha, big up yourself. Sorry about that. Same mail, I missed her name. Tara, big up yourself. Sorry about that. You know what I mean? I'm getting old, baby. I'm getting old. It was my anniversary weekend too, so blame it on that. I was, you know what I mean? Had a nice, lovely weekend. You know what I mean? Of doing absolutely nothing. Every year I got all these plans and all these little things, and you know what I mean? This year, no plan, nothing, man. Just a wing it like KFC. See, we just a wing it. We just a wing it like Wings Plus. We just a wing it. We just a wing it like Wingstop, and it works out fine. Now let's squeeze off a little thing right about now from the man himself, Mr. Mason the Emperor. Let's get in.
Standing in the rain, can't stop the pain. He's in love with her, he lives for her, and he worships her. She doesn't even care, loving in her heart. He's all alone. Something about the glory days, all of the dreams were real, all of the love was real. Over time she changed her ways, blinded by the ways of the world. Standing in the rain, can't stop the pain. He's in love with her, he lives for her, and he worships her. He doesn't even care, oh, loving in her heart. He's all alone. She changed the way she looks at him, no longer sees her king of hearts, only the diamonds and gold. All the love and romance they share, she replaced the love, she doesn't even care. Standing in the rain, can't stop the pain. He's in love with her, he lives for her, and he worships her.
Ladies and gentlemen, the album is called God Bless Me. The song's called All Alone.
Oh,
beautiful, beautiful listener. Trust me. You got your road trips to take. You got a flight to get on.
The way she made him feel,
some what I call headphone music, you know what I mean?
Cannot be real. Her heart is made of stone, his heart will beat alone. I cannot believe his heart she would deceive. For diamonds and gold, her heart was sold. Standing in the rain, can't stop the pain. I'm in love with.
What you been up to, Bobby Dean?
I live for her.
Hey, Julianne, you're good.
Worship her, though she doesn't care. Oh,
greetings, Barry. So good to see you. How you doing?
I'm all alone. Tell us something still in the way. There's enough people out there to understand the real, true strength we get from our friends and the family, friends, loved ones.
Yeah, brother, but you know what I'm saying? I just don't think so.
Yeah, man, but still we give thanks to the radio personality song, man.
Yeah, brother, come on.
If you share love with people, you share love with me. I love sharing our music.
For all the love that you shared, I want you to know how special you are to me. This song I write for you because I wanna say thank you. I wanna say thank you. You give me the strength to carry on. You give me the hope of a new dawn. You give me the words to sing, and you motivate me. Showed me I have a heart to share with millions of people who really care. You give me a vision beyond the sky, and I wanna say thank you. I wanna say thank you.
I really dig this one. It's called Thank You. Big one, man.
You've given me life.
Hey, Jera, how are you?
And deny it. And when I get to thinking, I'm so grateful. And in every town I go, you always start to show. Could not go on without your love. It was such a bad day yesterday when the music faded away. Now I do anything to be with you again. I wanna say thank you for all the love that we've shared.
This one, ladies and gentlemen, is called Thank You. It features Dwayne Stevenson, all right? Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. When it's a big tune, you know what I mean? There's something special about this body of work that I dig. I dig it, dig it, dig it. And of course, we got to get into it shortly, all right? We're going to be chopping it up with Mr. Mason, the Emperor himself. Singer, songwriter, musician, all right? We're going straight in the Far East right now. We're going straight to Japan and get it done, you know what I mean? Trust me.
Thank you for all the love that you shared. I want you to know how special you are to me. This song I write for you because I wanna say thank you. I wanna say thank you. You give me the strength to carry on. You give me the hope of a new dawn. You give me the words to sing, and you motivate me. Showed me I have a heart to share with millions of people who really care. You give me a vision beyond the sky, and I wanna say thank you. I wanna say thank you. I wanna say thank you. You've given me life and words I can't deny it. And when I get to thinking, I'm so grateful. And in every town I go, you always start to show. Could not go on without your love. It was such a bad day yesterday when the music faded away. Now I do anything to be with you again. I wanna say thank you for all the love that we've shared. And in every song I write, and in every word.
What up, Hope? How are you? Locked up Dorena, Matthew Caden.
That I sing. You are the reason why I sing. Oh, you're my everything. You are the reason. Every day I raise my hand and give thanks to God. For you and you and you, every one of you, I truly love you. Not again. I give thanks for you in every way. You are my just for singing this song. Only reason I'm singing this song. Oh, you know I really love you in every way. You know I sing this for you in every day. And I really wanna say thank you for all the love that you've given. I can never repay.
It's called Thank You, featuring Dwayne Stevenson, Mace the Emperor, ladies and gentlemen. Big Chill. Big Chill, Big Chill. Listen, again, like I said, we got a great show coming for y'all today. We're going to be talking about arts in a minute. We got some things we're going to be getting into also. Remember, we got the different series going on. And right now, it's all about, we're going across the borders, reggae music across the globe. That's what it is about. All right. See me post that stuff all the time about music across the globe. This is reggae music. It's bigger than our shores, bigger than our borders. We're climbing barriers each and every day. Been doing that for days, been doing that for years. All right. So nothing like connecting with those people all across the globe and just getting a feel of what's going on everywhere. You know what I mean? People putting out quality, dope music. All those people putting out new works. Thank y'all so much, man. I know it takes a lot. You know what I mean? A lot of inspiration, a lot of energy, a lot of effort, a lot of resources. In so what is sometimes a thankless arena. You know what I'm saying? But thank you all so much for doing it. We appreciate you because it keeps me inspired, keeps me give me things to do. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we've got the Homegrown G Cole live acoustic series that will continue also. A lot of the musicians out here are on tour, and that I'm glad for because I'm glad to see that the world is opening back up and people are able to go and ply their trade all across the globe like they want to, all across the country like they want to, all across the city like they want to. All right, so much love and much respect to everybody, all the artists that are geared up and ready to go. Trust me, we got you. All right, we got you. And we also have the Love Doctor series coming in where John, I don't know what's wrong with y'all on the Love the Pasapasana, because that's the one people keep emailing me about. When's the Love Doctor series starting, Chico? When's the love? Why? So we're going to be having a Love Doctor series where we're just going to sit down and talk to some folks designed for us to have conversation with some single folks, but we're going to talk with some people who are not. You know what I mean? I represent that side of the populace that's not single. I'm out the game. I'm out tired, you know what I mean? Hung up my hat, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Over here chilling, sipping on iced tea. You know what I'm saying? But then we got all those people living those adventurous, healthy single lives out there. And it's a crazy thing. We've had conversations with people before. Just hilarious to see what goes on out here in the dating world, but it's a real thing. It's a real deal. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking to men. We're going to be talking to women. Conversations like these, sometimes I want to get in depth on and, you know what I mean, get somebody's perspective to the fullest. So it might not be a panel discussion. I'm not the biggest fan of that, so it won't be a panel discussion where by the time we come to the end, you're still trying to get somebody's opinion and somebody's vibe and somebody's, you know what I mean? A reaction to things, but you can't do so because there's too many people. No, we're going to give everybody their own space and their own platform to speak. And it ain't the love connection. Let me just throw that out there right now. It ain't the love connection. I ain't Cupid or nothing. So I'm not here trying to make love connections, right? A bunch of crazy folks come. You all know. Someone know what you know. Bunch of crazy folks out here. So I ain't going to do no hookup and then I get sued for ruining people's lives with crosses people. No, right? We're just going to have some conversations, have a vibe. You know what I mean? Have some fun. And we see what happens, right? We see what happens. People, you know what I mean? Just enlighten us. What's going on out there in these worlds? So we got a couple of really smart, really dope, really intelligent fellows ready to go. Some really smart, dope, intelligent, beautiful women ready to go. And ultimately, you never know. Every now and then, we might, bring multiple people on at once. But for the most part, it's going to be a one-person show. Come on, and we're going to raise and we're going to interact. And guess what? The phone lines will be open, and y'all will be able to, give you 2 cents or 3 cents also. I know a lot of time people prefer to send me a whole bunch of the texts and stuff like that, but I can't always get to those, right? But if you call in and you want to get opinion, you want to call in and say, listen, man, that lady, them mad, or you want to call in and say, listen, that brother, they are from Rockers, Feel free. Again, we're going to be opening the phone lines at that time. We'll give you the phone information so you'll be able to, participate and do what you want to do. Big up all the people right now watching from Ghana. Much love, much respect. All right. Big up the folks watching in from St. Lucia. The Caribbean is repping big time here. Grand Cayman is here. Jamaica is here. I appreciate y'all big time. All right. Again, big time. Orlando's rocking with us right now. Tampa is rocking with us. It's a blast. It's a blast. It's a blast. It's a blast. All right. Listen. So sometimes we have to burn some serious fire up on here, please. All right. Burn a little bit of a fire. Just a little bit of a fire. Was going through something the other day, and there's a conversation from a pastor. I do the show, as you know, we're broadcast and simulcast on a couple of different radio stations, 15 to be exact, right? Worldwide. And one of them has a big core of I hate saying religious folks, but it's a Christian back station, right? Just a couple of secular DJs on there, including myself, you know. I figure I'm not that bad, so they can put me in without me, you know what I mean? I developed the thing, you know what I'm saying? So because I rolled in and I played some nice missing the emperor and them thing there, so it's not even like somebody that's come in and I kill them with a certain, you know what I'm saying? So I'm qualified. But a lot of times I'll be saying some things. I know say the pastor they want to bun me out because some pastor up on the station and they got some fiery shows, some dope shows. I like it. I like the energy. But I was listening to a pastor the other day speaking about a topic that we spoke on before, which is divorce, relationships ending. And these things do happen. And it's not just about standing up for my ladies, but it can't always sound a way that anytime we, from a spiritual standpoint and a relationship standpoint, when I bring up the Bible and the divorce situation, it's always about ladies don't leave your husbands and this and that, and ladies mustn't this and that. So when the ladies get treated wrong, when the ladies get, you know, lied to and abused and deceived and whatever the case may be, why is it that the church folk and the spiritual folk always kind of, you very seldom do you hear them talk about the man in the part of the divorce, and the few places in the Bible that it mentions divorce, you know, it's always about, because even the Bible, I am a believer and I rule the Bible, but the Bible does come from a misogynistic perspective in many cases, right? Church people not like hear that more time, but it does. It does. It's a lot of almost servitude toward the men, right? You know, some men may say, then why wasn't why that bother your king? You know, man, right. But I'm a girl dad, you know what I mean? I got a daughter. I'm not going to teach my daughter that. No. All right. Got a wife who is my partner and my other half, and we do things together. I don't go, yes, I am the head of the household, and she'll tell you in a heartbeat, I am the head of the household, which ultimately means if the lights are off, it's my fault. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But I do believe in that whole theory, even though technically we don't abide by that, where if the house ain't clean, it's always mama's fault, right? And if the lights are off, it's always daddy's fault. I do believe in that, no matter what the circumstances. So, but my significant other is my other half. My to some degree, I might say my better half, right? But we're both human beings who should respect each other. We're both culpable for things and responsible for our relationship growing and being strong and being successful. And if it doesn't, it can't just be one person's fault, unless, of course, it is one person's fault. But I am not a fan of whenever people take the biblical approach, they make it sound like, you know, a woman is not supposed to leave, because I don't hear any topics and any lines about a man is not supposed to leave. You know what I'm saying? If it's a situation where the thing now go right, just like how the man can say, yo, in my left the situation, the woman supposed to can do it too. You understand? I don't believe in the misogyny. Again, I'm a girl dad, so it is what it is. I just saw the thing go, right? I want to big up again all the ladies listening. And so I'm going to bring on a reverend. Now we're going to have the conversation. It's certain conversations I stay away from. I stay away from the political conversation. I stay away from the religious conversation, because a lot of times they're more opinion than fact. And the only people who don't believe that are the politicians and the religious people, right? I say I don't speak to politicians a lot, because politicians speak from a book they've not read, and neither have you. And the religious people tend to try to speak from a book that they've read and you have not, right? So for that reason, I kind of keep the conversation where if we can't talk English, we can't talk, because again, a lot of the pastors that talk English and talk Bible, right? But I'm gonna have a reverend on here. I've had a conversation with one gentleman before. Reverend Stephen Murphy was an enlightening conversation. And I think one of the reasons why it was such a great conversation to have is because he's a young person. So he's not already jaded and indoctrinated in certain things. Yes, he's a believer. He believes the Bible and the whole nine. But, you know, our younger folk a lot of times come in with a lot more, what I would like to say, rationality right? A lot more logical perspectives than those people who've been in it for years and they're working with a mortality clause, you know? They don't want to admit the facts as a mortality clause, you know? That's the reason why church have more old people than young people. It's not because they're wiser. It's not because they're more ordained than you. It's because they're closer to death. You know what I'm saying? And people want to make sure, say, I don't know if I'm doing it right. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong. But just in case our brother kick the bucket next week, I'm going the right place. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take man for fool. I know what I'm going. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss the Emperor, the album is called God Bless Me. We're gonna chop it up. All right, with the artists.
Mr. Officer, do you mind if I smoke? If I smoke, I smoke. I got the highest grade, Mr. Officer. Careful you choke. Oh, I wanna smoke, Mr. Officer. Now I wanna smoke, Mr. Officer. Excuse me, make me smoke, Mr. Officer. I just wanna blaze a fire. It's my choice if I wanna smoke some every day. It's my choice if I wanna lady every day. It's my choice if I wanna buy one ounce of phone. My choice how I live my life. I'm gonna live my life. If I could rise every morning, bonus spliff, drink one herb stick, roll one next meds, touch the road, I would be happy. Blaze every second, every minute, every hour, but the system still blind to the healing and the powers. Let's start one brand new revolution to heal the world with the healing of the nation. Fill the cup, make we start it right now. Everywhere in the world, legalize it right now. Do you mind if I smoke? If I smoke, I smoke. Got the highest grade, Mr. Officer. Careful you choke.
Get a draw to an officer.
Oh, I wanna smoke, Mr. Officer. Now I wanna smoke, Mr. Officer. Excuse me, make me smoke, Mr. Officer.
Let them know.
'Cause I just wanna blaze a fire.
Oh, I get high, higher than high, so high. I tell you, herbs on my left, herbs on my right. Scoop a couple pound of high grade tonight. Man, I'm hustling hard. I need that bread. Cause the naked to be clothes and the hungry to be fed. Fresh on the scene, them say welcome back. Buffalo soldier with a billionaire. Smoke it at will the time.
I love this tune. I ain't gonna front. I love this tune. I love this tune. Where's that Bobby D real vibe? It's a vibe, of course. Bev C, where's that tune? Up, not Joe. Kevin Wayne said through the roof.
Mr. Officer, do you mind if I smoke?
Do you mind?
If I smoke,
Do you mind?
I got the highest grade, Mr. Officer. Careful you choke. Oh, I wanna smoke, Mr. Officer. Now I wanna smoke, Mr. Officer. Excuse me, make me smoke, Mr. Officer. I just wanna blaze a fire. It's my choice if I wanna smoke some every day. It's my choice if I wanna lady every day. It's my choice if I wanna buy one ounce of phone. My choice how I live my life. I'm gonna live my life. If I could rise every morning, bonus spliff, drink one herb stick, roll one next meds, touch the road, I would be happy. Blaze every second, every minute, every hour, but the system still blind to the healing and the powers. Let's start one brand new revolution to heal the world with the healing of the nation. Fill the cup, make we start it right now.
Mason the Emperor.
We're in the world, legalize.
Do you mind if I smoke?
Do you mind if I smoke?
Do ya?
If I smoke, I smoke.
Do ya?
I said, Mr. Officer, careful you choke. Oh, I wanna smoke, Mr. Officer. Now I wanna smoke, Mr. Officer. Excuse me, make me smoke, Mr. Officer.
Make them know.
'Cause I just wanna blaze the fire.
Oh, I get high, higher than high, so high. I tell you, herbs on my left, herbs on my right. Scoop a couple pound of high grade tonight. Man, I'm hustling hard, I needs that bread. Cause the naked to be clothes and the hungry to be fed. Fresh on the scene, them say welcome back. Buffalo soldier with a billionaire. Smoke it at winter time. Smoke it in the summertime. I get high, higher than high. So,
Mr. Officer, do you mind if I smoke? I've got the highest grade, Mr. Officer. Careful, you choke now. Oh, I wanna smoke, Mr. Officer. Now I wanna smoke, Mr. Officer.
Smith the Emperor, ladies and gentlemen,
Make me smoke,
featuring Jara.
'cause I just wanna,
Mind if I smoke?
wanna play.
Mind if I smoke? Do ya?
I get higher than marijuana smoking with my
Tell them,
chalice.
Jara, I get high. Tell them make it legal, 'cause there ain't nothing equal. Bring the chalice to the beat.
Tell them, Emperor.
Do you mind if I smoke? If I smoke,
Yeah, some Arizona cops, if they mind, all right?
I ask
Some California cops.
officer. If
Not you.
choke now,
Nevada cops. Do you mind if I smoke?
I wanna smoke, Mr. Officer.
Get your ass whooped if your ass are down here in South Florida on these continent. They don't play that. Get your ass whooped.
Smoke, Mr. Officer.
Whooped.
I just wanna play.
I'm just saying, do ya?
And if I smoke,
My ladies. You don't know where to squeeze a thing, all right? One of the biggest baddest. I love this one. You know what I'm saying? Conversations in the dark. I'm sure it's supposed to be like 9 minutes long. It's that fly.
talk. Let's have conversations in the dark. World sleeping, I'm awake with you. With you. Watch movies that we both already seen. I ain't even looking at the screen, it's true. I've got my eyes on you. And you say that you're not worth it. You get hung up on your flaws. But in my eyes, you are perfect as you are. I won't ever try to change you. I will always want the same. Swear on everything I pray to, that I won't break your heart. I'll be there when you get lonely. Keep the secrets that you told me. And your love is on its own.
Pull it up, selector.
Talk. Let's have conversations in the dark. World sleeping, I'm awake with you. With you. Watch movies that we both already seen. I ain't even looking at the screen, it's true. I've got my eyes on you.
Y'all ready for a conversation, ladies and
And
gentlemen?
you say that you're not worth it.
Today's special guest,
Get hung up on your
Missing the Emperor.
but in my eyes,
Album's called "Y'all Bless Me."
as you are.
This tune right here, big tune.
I won't ever try to change you. I will always want the same. Swear on everything I pray to, that I won't break your heart. I'll be there when you get lonely. Keep the secrets that you told me. And your love is all you owe me. And I won't break your heart. Sunday mornings we sleep until noon. Well, I can sleep forever next to you. Next to you. And we've got places we both got to be. There ain't nothing I would rather do than blow off all my plans for you. And you say that you're not worth and get hung up on your flaws. But in my eyes, you are perfect as you are, as you are. I won't ever try to change you, change you. I will always want the same, same. Swear on everything I pray to, that I won't break your heart. I'll be there when you get lonely, lonely. Keep the secrets that you told me. And your love is all you own. And I won't break your heart when no one seems to know. And your days seem so hard. My darling, you should know my love is everywhere you are. Yeah. I won't break your heart. Oh, when you get
It's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's about time for us to hold our reasoning, man. When we say big tune, that's a big tune. Conversations in the Dark. It's the Emperor. Album called "Ja Bless Me."
I won't break your heart.
Mad.
Wagwan King, Wagwan King.
Yeah, man. Yo, long time I wait for link there, you know.
It's been a minute, not true. Been a
Mad
minute.
Mad vibes. It's been a long time coming. Yes, definitely. Yes,
Bro, you've been steady putting out the work. I remember before the album came out, this was a single. This was the first single you dropped, the lead single. And there's something about the song that's just it's a headphone song. It's one of them songs that, like I said earlier, it should have been about 9 minutes. You know what I mean? Because it's proper like that. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah.
I love the tune.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
I can't take credit for that tune there fully. I take credit for my part in the tune.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know already, it's a cover tune.
Right.
Originally written by several people, about 5 people write the tune.
Dang.
Yeah, man, John Legend, you don't know John Legend around, so you know, say I have him team and everything. So about 5 people write the tune.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to give thanks for them and John Legend, his team, for a beautiful tune. The lyrics, that we use from the tune, I should say, and the melody, of course. And then, of course, we take it and we put our little twist to it, and you don't know, we're gonna tough gang and feel the magic and build one nice rhythm. So we have to big up the family, Rebel Source family, the Rebel Source family band, and my brother Ryan Shot Boss Webb, who produced the rhythm.
Right.
Everyone who was involved. We always show love and give thanks to those who participate in the projects that we do. So you don't know, I can take credit for my part, but we always show love to everyone else, and of course to yourself and all of the radio personalities who share it out with the people, share the love that we are sharing with the people. So you don't know, love every time.
I dig it. And here's something that I haven't said this a lot of times, and this is, again, let me drop some disclaimers. The views expressed by G Cole does not represent those of Mason Emperor, does represent those of Homegrown with G Cole. Sometimes I be going rogue, NorJamaicans.com, all right? But today, because yesterday was my anniversary, and I put up a picture, and I used this as a song.
Blessings for the anniversary, and give thanks.
Bro, I had to.
It's an honor,
It fit, man. It fit. And somebody saw it on my status, and they were talking to me and say, yo, this is the such and such song, whatever the case may be. And to be honest with you, I'm not going front. I had forgotten about the original. I no disrespect. I'd forgotten about the original. But I lie. John, nobody vexed with me. And I actually went back to listen to it today. And it bad. But I prefer this version.
Give thanks, brother. Give thanks.
I'm a little
Yeah,
biased.
you're not the first to tell me that, you know, and
Right.
we have to give thanks, you know. I think large in part, you know, reggae always it enhances anything you know that it touches, as you could say, you know. So it's just you know, I don't know, it's just different. I won't lie, I love my version better too, and it's not just because I did it. You see it? I don't, you know. You don't see it, but you don't know, you know, just this sort of thing there. You see me?
It is what it is. It is what it is. It's
I will
what it
give
is.
thanks because you know, as I said, when I opened the status and I saw it, you know, I had to write you and say give thanks because it's an honor. You know, the anniversary is a special thing. You know, you're not choice them tune it lightly. You know, when you have to, you know, so yeah, give thanks, brother. It's an honor, real big
Yeah,
and true,
man.
and love to yourself and your empress on your anniversary as well. You know,
Give
congratulations.
thanks.
You know,
Give thanks. Give thanks. It's I tell you this, and that's why I have to appreciate the artists too who put out good works because we need that, you know. We need the music. It's just life as a whole. There's a balance that sometimes is fleeting, and we need that back right now. So even to keep not just the romance, but just concepts and music of love. We get the airwaves and the marketplace is flooded right now with a lot of music, but you know, I think it's not balanced anymore. You're still getting good music, but the love part of it is a little more fleeting. So that's why I'm grateful for songs like these. But when I talk about balance, I must give you some more credit also. The album is a very balanced album. It has its conversations in the dark and stuff for the lovers and for the ladies, and then it's got stuff that's if you want to say roots and culture, you can say roots and culture. If you know what I'm saying, if you want to say message music, you can say message music, but it's very, very balanced. Is that something that when you set out to make an album, that's by design? I gotta make sure that this album has the equilibrium of a balance.
This is the thing. We have to give thanks to the universe for that because that was not by design. This album is very much different from the typical Mason Emperor. Most people know that, you know, if you say Emperor, you say Emperor. I love me deal with, you know, you see it from Perfect Woman to, you know, see it Conversation in the Dark to, you know, Lovers Rock. Normally when you say Mason Emperor, you say Lovers Rock. Of course, we have tunes like Freedom and Save a Life, Kings and Queens. Honestly speaking, summer vibes. You know, I have some tunes, but those are normally you know, when we feel a vibe, we drop one, but never really to this degree. And this particular album, you know, just the fact that it has 17 tunes as well. You know, all of these things were by the universe. I mean, it wasn't something that was by design. We did not plan to do 17 tunes. We did not plan to do a lot of the tunes that are on the album. The pandemic did it.
Right.
Because the album started. Typically, most people know that I live half of the year in Jamaica, half of the year in Japan. I'm in Japan right now, by the way. And because of that, well, I had started the album. 6 of the tunes I think were done. In Jamaica, I was, you know, I completed 6 tunes and hadn't planned to leave and stay away, but I flew back to Japan and I couldn't go back to Jamaica because of the pandemic. And because of the pandemic, you know, don't get me wrong, I actually have to give thanks for certain things that transpired over the time. You know, there was an enlightenment, I should say, for myself, a lot of growth for myself and Rebel Soul's family. And, you know, big up DeAndre Hudson, just DeAndre, you see on the in the chat room. He's my doctor of visuals.
Mad.
Everything you see visually. If you see me on a StreamYard, if you see me, if you see Conversation in the Dark, music film, as we call them, Evermore music film, God Bless Me, music film, Reminisce, any of them.
Right.
The man behind the scenes, the man who's writing the scripts and making sure the shots are right, making sure that everything is edited properly, everything is colored properly. Him, DeAndre Hudson. I mean, he may not be the man who's pushing or operating certain things, but he's pushing the buttons. See? And he has his team, and we have our teams. But my point I'm trying to make is he made a documentary about me called Who Am I? It's on my YouTube. And it talks about, or shows, it visually shows what transpired over the time of the pandemic up until January 2022, this year. And what I was trying to get at is that I went through so many things with this album in the creation of it, being here, having to get things done. You know, my band is in Jamaica. So having the rhythms, because every rhythm on here, with the exception of one, is performed and produced by Rebel Soul's band, my band, at Tough Gang. So it was a difficult situation, difficult thing. I mean, I've told many people, you know, it got to the point, brother, where I had my hand over the delete button.
Wow.
Right over the delete button. We're ready for delete the entire album at one point and say, yo, I'm done, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how much times. And finally, when it really licked me, I'm gonna tell you this. Big up Adriana Clark. That's the late great Bunny Ruggs from Third World, his princess, his daughter. She's featured on Jamaica is Calling on the album. And it was my cousin, Beck, big up Beck, same way, who introduced me to her. And I tell you, she has such a great energy. I'm gonna talk about that. You see Dre there? Yo, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. It's a long story behind that, but not really long, but I'm gonna get into that. Let me just finish this point I'm trying to make. Adriana Clark has such a great energy, brother, that I had reached a point where I was really seriously considering getting out of the music business. And it was like something hit her to link me, and she just sent me a voice message, and her energy is just so powerful that I turned around and went right back into the system and wrote another song. And it just happened. That's how it was happening throughout the process. Things kept hitting me. I kept getting to a point where it was just, you know, and then someone somewhere, including Dre himself, would do something to enlighten me about myself.
Right.
And that started with the Who Am I documentary. When he did that, Dre took a bunch of footage. I mean, it wasn't planned. It was something he did. Didn't even tell me he was doing it.
Wow.
He took all the footage from back behind the scenes, everything that he had from every film when we were recording in the studio. If we did a music film for Conversation in the Dark, Evermore, he just started putting these things together and then hit me up and said, yo, brother, look at this. And it was 9 minutes at the time. It's 45 minutes now at the completion. 9 minutes. He sent me already, and I'm looking at it, brother. It almost brought me to tears because I was looking at it and saying, that's me. I was seeing myself for the first time. You see it. And that is what happened with this the creation of this album. I was seeing myself for the first time, and that is what brought about all these other tunes that you're hearing. All Eyes on Me, you know, all of these tunes. Jah Bless Me. Jah Bless Me. I would not have written that tune. It's not something I had in mind to write. A Jah Bless Me, you know, those types of tunes I don't typically, you know, think about writing, you know, because I don't like to get into certain subjects, you know, when it comes to certain things, and I filter myself. I'm not a filter when it comes on to certain, yo, mix up. If you do something with me, I forgot, yo, page you, give you a book, whatever. I'm around, but filtering myself.
Right.
My lyrics, you don't know I go a yard more time, brother. Yeah, red card, and you know I said, you can't talk. You see, you can't. You just hold your card and sit down, just listen, card. You know, for your start talk, people are gonna draw on red card, and you know when I do the worst, my band, brother. Every man not a band, a ram for draw card. Right. Point being, I was filtering myself, all kinds of things, and that brings me back to one point Dre was making. I've known Dre longer than anyone. I'm a brother from a different mother, and he actually is one of my first clients ever in my first studio, Rebel Soul Studio.
Wow.
Yeah, I had customers before him, but client.
Right.
He brought in real business and was bringing in different artists, you know, and and producing real product that he intended to do something with. You know, although we know sometimes artists don't reach nowhere because they're not putting no work.
Right.
But my point is deleting stuff.
Jay say you're a serial deleter, yo.
Like my file him clean. You see, so I have only my file. I just delete when I know something. Well, normally I would. But checks. Let me rephrase that. But checks when I need. You see it. And the problem is, more time it reached me. I said, John, I'm gonna delete the blows and skirt file. And it's like every time, brother. It's like Dre up on the wall, the fly up on the wall. I hear me when I say, John, I'm gonna delete the file. And you delete something again, brother. Did me not tell you to stop delete, you know? and that brings me to the tune "Gone Again."
Right.
Tune on the track on the album right now. You have one tune that's not played by my band, produced by my brother, all produced by him, Rayan. But it's "Gone Again," and the rhythm itself is livicated to the late great Bopi Boy.
Right.
One of the baddest guitarists around. If you don't know him, you should know him. He's one of the original guitarists from Firehouse Band, John Messenger Band. He toured with Luciano, Sizzla, all of them, man. And the last rhythm he ever played guitar for us, Rebel Souls Band, on one of our tracks was the Gone Again rhythm, the rhythm for Gone Again.
Right.
And I didn't delete the rhythm, but I deleted the tune.
Oh, wow.
And this is the thing. For those of us who know music, you're an artist yourself, G. Cole. Bad artist. If you don't know him, make sure you say you check him. But if you're on his platform, you must know him already. But anyway, my point is, sometimes you go in that studio and you do one tune late into the hours. And you go on your bed and go rest. And you wake up and you listen to it and say, Blood, what this one?
Yep.
You know, I just saw it go sometimes. You know, you feel a vibe, and it late night hours worse if you're all I made. You know, I say, look, I agree. If you beat one Guinness or dragon or whatever you do. And you rise and I lights and you listen to it and say, no, man, that can't work. So this must have been, Gone Again must have been something like that, because what happened is I was going through my files and I had already selected certain rhythms for the album. I don't know if I talk too long if the people are ready for hear some tune or what, but
we good. Get on the story.
But I was preparing. I had all the rhythms to the side. Okay, for the album. And by the way, people, those who are looking might see a box in the back. That's there by design. I just want to know. I'll get into that. Bev, see, that's CDs. People have been asking me for some CDs from my old school soul album that I had. That don't even know that exists, and it's CD, and I had some copies left. But anyway, that's what that box is there for. We're gonna mail them out. So Bev C, I'm a sister. This is from Conquering Lion Sound and Lion TV. Big up, and all the people in the place don't know love every time. And I want to make sure, so we have to make sure so we cover that. Jamaica.com. Everyone don't know G Code. Homegrown. Okay, back to the story. Point is, I think I must have deleted that because I was looking through. I couldn't feel any of the rhythms I had selected. And I said, let me go to some of my older rhythms, because like I said, I had no intention of using anything that wasn't from Rebel Souls Band. I wanted this album to be all Rebel Souls. Then I said, you know what? I looked at the rhythm. I said, yo, that's the rhythm Bopi played on. Maybe we can, drop that in there and go and live it because them did drop out, So I went in there and I went into the bounce folder. Those who know Pro Tools knows that, you bounce a song or bounce something, it goes into the bounce folder. I went into the bounce folder and I saw something say Gone Again. And I said, what is? Because it never there. And I found, the Pro Tools session is just the rhythm.
Right.
I said, what is? Let me click it and start listening. And I'm listening and say, I never know say this tune. And it licked me in my brain, brother, because it did nice vibes, but
right.
And I said, but wait. And I said, but where this tune come from? And I look back in the file, I said, but I didn't see no file. So I'm going to the session, what do you call it? The session backups. Our Pro Tools saves a backup every 2 minutes. Or you set it or you set it. And I see the Gone Again session in the backups.
Right.
I said, but we must delete it then. Dread up on the blouse and skirt. FaceTime, I listened to me say, you must delete it. Yeah, brother, man, tell us every time we delete something by mistake, or not by mistake, but by this, well, I don't know. But anyway, it's like Dread, I listened to him, I said, John, I'm going to delete something. And worse. I said, I must have, after I listened to it in the tour, I said, yo, that bad. I said, I must have deleted this because it sounds kind of soul-like. Brother, what am I going to say that for? Man, yo, the man give me a page, give me the book. I tell me, see, man, I tell you, say, you filthy yourself, and you can't filthy yourself. Your souls, you love, souls, because long time I sing souls. Wait now. See them, man. This is what I talk about for over there. This is my Souls album, people. A long time I do this back in 2003, just straight Souls. G Cole, you don't know, so I send you a copy.
Wow.
But this album has 12 tunes on it. I did it in 10 days. It was something that I did. I played all the instruments on this, mixed it, and had it mastered elsewhere. But it was something I was doing because I was opening up a new studio, and I wanted to show the quality of the equipment and everything we were doing. See?
Right.
So I did it for that purpose. But still, my point is, back in the day, it was BSOs, used to sing R&B, you see. So of course, Dre knows me from them time there. So man, so I get vexed. See it. And from that time, you started hearing tunes like Gone Again, All Eyes on Me, Thank You, Mind If I Smoke, because I stopped filtering myself and just let whatever I was feeling over the time of this pandemic go into the song.
Wow. It's funny we talk about the pandemic. This comes up a lot because what has hindered a lot of people and had a lot of people in a place where you're supposed to be down and distraught and stuff like that. We find that a lot of creatives have created some great stuff. Great stuff. You know what I mean? It does put you in that position where it is crazy times, but whenever you're locked away, so one of two things either going to happen. Either you're going to spontaneously combust and just lose your mind, which did happen to many, lose your soul, lose your physicals, or you're going to draw on all the things that you have or the things that you don't have to create even better. And it seems like yourself and a couple of other dope people have done that. Hence we see this album, Jah Bless Me. I would
include yourself with Peace of Mind.
Peace of Mind is a holiday that came out because of, you know what I mean? I'm just observing people needing that kind of thing. And one thing I always pay a lot of attention to is album titles, because I always feel like it's very significant. Whenever you put a body of work together, there's always a reason why, and that's the reason why sometimes even the album title is not even the name of a track, right? But talk to me a little bit why this album is called Jah Bless Me.
Well, part of it is what I've just explained, how things were going on at the time. But then also, as I said, I don't typically write tunes like that. And that was one where it's kind of similar to the other story I told you a while ago, that I was going through the rhythms that I had selected for the album, because we had several that we had already beat from, prior to, and then some that I produced while I was here and had them do it in Jamaica.
Right.
But I was going through about maybe 3 or 4 of them, and I couldn't find a vibe. Couldn't find a vibe. And then I went back to one of the rhythms that was done by my band, but it was one that we hadn't planned for the album, because it's, how when you go in the studio with your band and you're there to do one tune or one rhythm or maybe 2 rhythms, but you them kind of warm up, the engineer tell drummates, deal with the drums and the sound and everything, and once everybody good, them kind of do a little vibes, hold a little vibes and play something. Jah Bless Me rhythm is a product of just a vibe and me hearing it and saying, yo, press record. And he pressed record. I captured the rhythm. We went back and edited, but we put it to the side because it wasn't something we had, planned. And I just went to listen to it and opened up the session, and I think I muted everything except for the bed, the Rhodes. And it just came to me, I feel Jah bless me. And I'm telling you, the song wrote itself, and by the time it was done, I knew right away this is the title track. And I see it, the title track, Jah Bless Me. It was everything that was happening at the time, and you hear it in the lyrics. Life is rough, and now I give up on a food style.
Wow.
That was what was going on in my life.
All right. So the thing, let's talk about your creative process. People create differently, but just listening to you say that just now, some people go and crank up the band, roll with the energy of the band. Some people create better in the studio, in the live environment. Me personally, majority of the stuff I write in solace. I write them by myself, and then I go to the studio. You know what I mean? Right. Talk to me a little bit about your creative process. What works best for you?
Similar to what you just said. I mean, typically I prefer to at least start on my own. My brother came to know that as well because I found that when I'm in Jamaica and I start feeling the vibes and he sees it and take away himself, you know. We've never spoken it. It's not, we've never spoken the words to say, yeah, you need to move. He never said, yeah, man, move,
But him get it.
It just he's a real musician. Yeah, those who know Shard Boss Web know Agwan. Seeing, and he's one of the baddest I know. And Dean Fraser saw it in him, which is why he took him from Edna Manley and put him in Firehouse Band.
Right.
And now he is the director of my band, as well as my producer. He's produced every tune from me, with the exception of maybe 6 tracks off the Lovers Rock album. See?
Right.
Yeah, man. But it's typically that I like to start in solace, because that's when I'm able to be at peace with myself. There's nothing going, like even this room here. This is my room. This is where I create. This is my studio in Japan, Rebel Soul Studio here. And in Jamaica, we have a studio as well that I use for that purpose, mostly for production, as far as the writing side. And then, we go to the actual, to Tough Gang to do the actual recording of the band, and then back to our studio for editing and mixing.
Right.
And most of them, 13 out of the 17 songs were mixed here in this studio by myself on this album. Typically, I mix all of my tunes. But certain ones where I felt I lost objectivity, I sent them elsewhere to be mixed. And that's going back to what you just said, the process. You have to know, and that comes with experience, as when to take away yourself from certain things from the process, because if you don't, then you lose objectivity and you're sacrificing your song, and especially in the mix process. That's the process where you can take the most beautiful song and make it the worst ever.
Yep.
And the funny thing, here's the funny thing, brother, I did it. I did it on this particular album. And because I had been so involved, and even my brother had been so involved, I hadn't realized until we had actually submitted the album to Tough Gang, ready to go. And then Tough Gang, big up Russell, girl, like wherever you're there, brother. He linked me and said, brother, no man.
Wow.
He said, yo, you need to remix about 5 of them tunes there. And I said, what am I talking about? And I said, give me a list, but he got busy. He couldn't give me a list. Actually, he had some issue, some family. I think passed some death in the family, and he couldn't get back to me on that. And of course, I'm not going to trouble him for a list. Just give my own due diligence. I went back and listened to the songs again, because typically after I'm done mixing, mastering, I'm giving the Tough Gang, I take away myself for a while. Don't listen to them. Went back and listened, brother, and I heard them by myself. I didn't need anybody to tell me. It was the worst ever. I couldn't believe I had submitted 5 of those tunes like they were.
Right.
So you have to be careful when you're dealing with music. And music's no joke. People don't know this sometimes. Music's no joke. Even one of the songs, So Inspired, that song put me down, brother. I couldn't leave my room, couldn't leave my yard. I mean, it was like I had the pandemic itself.
Wow.
Because I felt in myself the need to write. I don't know if you've ever been there, but I had a need to write a song. I had a message I had to convey, and I couldn't get it out. I couldn't find the lyrics. I mean, it just would not come. I knew what I wanted to say, but I couldn't say it.
Right.
So inspired. And that was because I had felt in myself the need to write. And I said this to my brother, because he saw me. He's like, brother, you're good. He's always checking on me. And I'm like, I'm good, but, I wouldn't leave my room, eat my food, and, and I'm telling you, it was a need to write what I called an apology to all women.
Wow.
For those of us, especially sometimes us as artists, musicians, who objectify them, who feel in themselves that, yeah, man, there's no way she wouldn't want me. You see it.
Ego.
It's not possible. She must want me, brother. That ain't always the case. And sometimes it's in our own minds. And that it just hit me to write, and I couldn't write. I couldn't find the lyrics because I felt so. I know why I couldn't get the lyrics.
Right. And
it's because I needed to make sure that my message that I was trying to convey was conveyed correctly in the right way. That anyone who would hear it, male or female, king or queen, empress, emperor, would fully understand what I'm trying to say, or what I want to convey and get across. And brother, once I got the lyrics and once that tune was written and voiced, it was like, the whole the whole world was off my shoulders. I was able to relax and exhale, as they say in the Whitney Houston film. No, yeah,
No, that's a song. So Inspired. They're talking about.
Yes, man. Yeah, man.
Now squeeze a piece of it. Now squeeze a little piece of it.
Go on, do it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I know that you were born loyal. Queen of queens, to you I am loyal. Empress in power, ruling over your empire. The reason why my love is so inspired. There were times when I thought that you belonged to me, even though inside I knew that you were royalty. The power of your essence is a light to me. I can see clearly now emotion got the best of me. Never will I ever deny it. Don't wanna justify it. Don't wanna walk away. Love and light guided you my way. I know that you were born loyal. Queen of queens, to you I am loyal. Empress in power, ruling over your empire. The reason why my love is so inspired. I am a man, sometimes I know not what I do. Still inside my heart I know that I've mistreated you. Never let you have a chance to truly know me. Never would I believe that you wouldn't want a man like me. Never will I ever deny it. Don't wanna justify it. Please don't walk away. Love and light guided you my way. I need you to know that I was right. I took time and changed my state of mind. Just one more chance to take it slow. I feel so divine, I can't let go. And if you believe our love is lost, I'll believe all hope in love is lost. Please don't believe it.
It's a big tune.
My.
So Inspired. You said something.
Yes,
you said something earlier. And I wanted to get a little bit into that because of the fact that we got a lot of musicians, a lot of producers, a lot of artists that watch the show sometimes, and I think it's important for them to hear different perspectives other than their own. You mentioned submitting the songs to Tough Gang, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Russell getting back to you, big up Russell Gerlach, got back to you and said, "Yo, some of them singing right."
Mm-hmm.
How important is it? Because I sometimes I wonder if we appreciate this enough. Artists, we are, artists are trained to have an ego, and to be perfectly honest with you, it's kind of nothing wrong with having an ego if that ego is not leading the chariot. You know what I'm saying?
You have to have some form of an ego, yes.
You've got to, but some people are led by that ego and fed by that ego that it actually becomes a problem. But in order to find somebody that will be able to, one, know the craft well enough to tell you're a musician, you're a producer yourself, that this thing you need work, and not only that, but to be honest enough, because this is a business, and at the end of the day, if you pay the right fee, man, gonna say, all right, that's it, go out here and name the on it, whatever, and put it out, right? How important is it to work with people like that who you can get that honesty from in terms of something needs to be done?
Well, I'll say this: a big part of that honesty comes from you yourself accepting that honesty, that feedback, because most people are not going to feel comfortable giving feedback to someone who won't accept it, nor will they bother. It doesn't make sense. What's the use in speaking if you're not going to be heard? So I think that's a big part of it. It's respect. I show respect to Russell because not only did he take the time to tell us, but also he's showing that he felt that I'm someone who would receive it, so, which is a big form of respect as well, you know. So yeah, it's important to have people around you, you know. That's why I always say to people, they ask what do you tell people? Surround yourself with the right people, because you need the right people in your ears telling you the right things. You don't need all that negativity and all of that. You need, you know, because if I be negativity out here, at some point you're going to start to tune out certain things and you're not going to hear nothing anyway. So you're not going to listen. Right. You know, so you need the right people around you that you trust, who you can trust, because then you know when they're speaking, when they're saying something, it's something to hear.
Right.
You have to know that the people you're talking to, you know, you trust them. And one of the others, I mean, like I said, Dre is a very intricate part of the family. You hear me call him name, and of course, Shot Boss, my brother. You know, those two people are very important. You know, they are the two who get involved from the time I finish writing a song until the song reaches the people visually. You know, I write a song, I come up with the concepts, you know, and then at that point, whether it's on a rhythm that Shot Boss went in the studio and made already, or if it's a rhythm that I asked him to make, or in the case of, like, say for instance, All Eyes on Me. That's one of my favorites because it's the first song I've ever produced myself with guitar. Normally I use piano. That was my main instrument. But since the pandemic, that's another thing that happened. I started learning guitar, teaching myself guitar. So you know, I took that, and the first song I wrote with guitar was All Eyes on Me. So I had used the guitar, worked out the chord progression, wrote the lyrics, melody, everything, and then sent the progression to my brother, and then they went in the studio with the over Tough Gong and licked the rhythm. Right. But I'm digressing now. My point is, it's very important to have people give you input, because, you know, as I said, you know, we reach points where we are, especially in my case, where I can lose my objectivity because I'm writing, I'm co-producing, which means I'm dealing with the edits and everything when it comes on to the rhythm edits, the vocal edits. I'm dealing with the backing vocal. You know, I'm singing backing vocals. Sometimes we get Althea or Sharita to deal with the backing vocals, and then I'm also still singing some parts of the backing vocal, and then I'm mixing the tunes. You know, you're gone. Sometimes you're gone too far. You know, you have to be able to, you know, take off this hat and put on the next hat, and take off that hat and put on the next hat, and know where you're cut off, where your lines cut, you know. And you know, with you know, God Bless Me, Evermore, Forever and Always. Forever and Always You, and All Eyes on Me. Those 4 tunes I had to outsource the mix, because I even knew at that time that I had dealt with those songs so much that I couldn't touch them anymore. So I sent Evermore and God Bless Me to James Agatsi, big engineer out of Spain, but lives in London. And then Forever and Always You and All Eyes on Me was mixed by Jalanzo out of Oregon. Now he's in Houston, I believe. Yeah, brother.
Sometimes we're too close to the fire.
Yeah, man. So you have to know, you know, and you have to have people who will tell you, you know, even Dre sometimes, you know, you say, yo, you know, our Shot Boss will say, yo, you know, so, you know, and I have to listen, you know. Even Conversations in the Dark would not be anywhere near the tune we have right now if it wasn't for Shot Boss. Wow. Because I was actually in my studio in Jamaica, and he was doing his, you know, normally as he normally does, he take away himself, go in a room or something, or go back in a room and or the kitchen or do whatever, you know. And came into the studio one day and said, "Yo, you know I sing the song right." And no, me no, sometimes I mean, don't get me wrong, me listen, but me not always listen. And I tell her right now, brother, when him say that, no, I'm look on him. I move from rest of man. I'm to you, man. You know what I say? What do you mean when I sing the tune right? Let me say, you're not singing the tune right. I sing the tune right, brother. I don't know the lyrics and I sing the tune, brother. Brother, I want argument kick off. And then I said, brother, I listen to the tune. Because, say, of course, I cover. So I have to go listen to John Legend tune to learn the tune first. You do cover them with it. You're not just write cover. Or do cover how you want to. You have to learn the cover first. Learn it exactly how he did it or she did it first. Understand the details behind the vocal, how they're singing, if they're singing full voice, if they're singing falsetto, if they sing, all the details before you go and take it and make it your own.
Right.
If you're doing it right, that's how you do a cover, as far as I'm concerned. My take on it. Anyway, man, I say, you're not singing it right. Listen to the tune, man. And I say, I'm not listen to the tune, brother. I have the tune I play and I blow. But not curse. You see it. I get vexed. But then, of course, I mean that still. Sometimes I reach a place where I just vex first and then I take time. I'll just take time and listen eventually. You know what I'm saying? And on a long time, next week or not. You see it. About 5 minutes, 10 minutes down in. Say, all right, hold on. What y'all say to me? Listen to the tune, man. And me sit back and me listen. And I say, brother, I don't know I'm to you, man. I sing the tune. You see it? And the man said, but wait, sing it again. And I start singing. And then I realize I sing the first verse and the first chorus, full voice. John Legend never sing the first verse and first chorus full voice. He sang them falsetto.
Right.
Yeah, and then he built, John Legend is a master at his craft. He does not do anything, without taking time to really map it out. So it's not a thing where, he's just going to sing a tune. He's building any tune you build, of course, as you know yourself, you want to build. You say you have certain shows. I mean, I don't want to say certain things, but I mean, I want to say it's almost like making love. All right, I say it that way. It's like making love.
Right.
And you're building, you're going to start and you're going to build and eventually you're going to reach. That's how a tune should be.
Right.
I'm trying to filter myself right now because I know you have certain listeners, so excuse.
You're good. They grown. All right.
They grown. So, grown people talk, you're going to reach a climax at some point. That's how tunes are built. You don't want to reach there too fast. You have to build. And that in itself, him going falsetto and building to full voice is also a part of that. And then, of course, he intertwined both false and full voice down into the outro of the song. So the point is, I was not singing the song right. You see it?
Big up shot, boss.
You see me? So you have to listen. You can't go into something yourself. As they say, anyone who builds something, somebody helped them along the way. Yeah. No man is an island.
I love that.
Yeah, man.
I love the rear view mirror focus, and the reason why some people hate channeling and looking in a rear view mirror. Don't ask me why. I love it because it gives me an insight into why you do what you do, why you are who you are. Totally right. Let's backtrack a little bit. Right. Let's go back to a young, not even Mr. Emperor, a young Richard Miss at them time. Right. Prior to music, growing up. Talk to me a little bit about childhood, growing up, and how we got here.
Well, there was no prior to music. I'm telling you right now, there was never a prior to music for me. I mean, if we say prior to professional music, meaning prior to me being a professional recording artist, then yeah. But I mean, I can't remember a time when I wasn't doing something in front of people. Even if the family came by the yard and, I grabbed one, my mother used to play tennis and she had 2 tennis rackets. And we would take up the tennis racket and use like one guitar. And my brother and my cousin, and we do the Jackson 5. All of them something they would just want,
Right.
And none of them really did go into music. But me, it was always something that we have to go do. I have to get in front of people, start singing. If me up on a bus, I go downtown, I sing on the bus. And eventually, me never stop sing because me start realize that every time I start sing, one woman start notice. You see it?
That's normally how it starts. That's normally how it starts.
You see it? So after we get over, say, yo, all right. So we're gonna, yo, temptations, dear. You see it? Start singing all of them too there. You get me? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You see me? Yeah,
That's how it
man.
starts.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
It's music, you know. And then it just, you know, I started realizing that it's something that I couldn't live without.
Right.
You see, you know, because I was in the Navy, which brought me to Japan originally, by the way, U.S. Navy. And after I got out of the Navy, I immediately started doing music with some different people. And then at one point, I reached this place where I was saying, okay, right now, I'm not get the food where we need, you know, take care of business. I have to be responsible, you know, responsible people, you know, we're not just, you know. So that start take over, you know. I go more time, you know, you go up on the slave, and then you know, have no time, no power.
Yep.
See, energy to really do music. And it became a point where I was saying, you know what, music is not my life. I'm gonna do this. And I started becoming, and I'm an engineer also, you know, design houses. As a matter of fact, this yard I'm in my studio, everything I designed and built myself.
Wow.
These things took over my life. And I felt that I wasn't whole. I had my Empress, I had my painting them, my yard, you know, money in my pocket, family, love, but I still wasn't whole.
Right.
And it wasn't until I started taking up back the music, you know, and I started back producing people. That's when I realized that it was music. It has to be in my life. There's no way I can go around it. No matter how I try, how hard I try to do something else. If music is not in my life, it don't work.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow. I love that. And there are always pieces of puzzles that connect. And what I'll say is this: you talk about it's 2022. You're that Japan right about now, right? And Japan is one of the markets that reggae, dance hall, just Jamaican musicians and artists in general have always said, you know, that's one of the golden places to reach. You talk about, you know, the US, you talk about the UK and Europe, and you talk about Japan. Know what I mean? Now of lately we talk a lot more about Africa too, you know. But it was that trifecta: the US, the UK, and Europe, which was at 1.1, and then Japan. What's the vibe, the energy? Because they're seeing it from two vantage points. One, the outsider, the foreigner looking in with optimism or whatever they think it is. And sometimes they get to see it as the visitor that comes into town. You fly into town, you come in and do the show if all goes well, and you go back home. You reside there, you say half of the month. Talk to me a little bit about the reggae, dancehall, Jamaican music connection with Japan from a real time, real life, modern day. This ain't back in the day when Tiger that rocked the stage era. What's that?
When you put it that way, it's depressing. Because I started to think about it. I know I've been in Japan since 1989. And you know, back and forth, but always between, you know, Jamaica and here, not DC, you know, but which is where a lot of my family is. My little princess is there now, going to Howard. But man, back in the day, you had the job, you know, like you said, artists have come over. Enough artists, I don't want artists. Enough artists come over, do one big show. Japan Splash, you know, Copeland Farbs, they build beer show over here, so. And after the economy did kind of pop down, I don't know what they call the bubble. It just went away. You know, you have certain people like Mighty Crown or keep certain shows, but it's typically one Jamaican artist and several J-Reggae artists. And while I will say there are several artists here in Japan who have a nice vibe and, you know, they're great with their, you know, with J-Reggae, I personally cannot draw anything from it. Like, for instance, if I go to a dance in Jamaica, I can leave that dance, draw so much power from that and energy from that dance. I can write probably a week's worth of tune. You see me? I just get energy. here I go to dance, I probably won't want to write no tunes after I'm done.
Right.
Because I don't feel a vibe from what's going on, and it's because we're not getting any of the true, the artists coming over here, to from Jamaica,
Right.
and part of that is because of the economy, and another part of that is because over time many artists book show, sign contract, took the deposit, and never show. So that became a what do you call it? I wouldn't say issue, a lack of trust. So many of the promoters and those people, Patricia, big up yourself. Lack of, they don't trust, so they don't want to draw for the artists. So
Right.
then you have people the only promoters I would say that would draw for any artist is someone who has the link, a yard, to make sure say everything goes through proper. So,
Right.
Which would be someone like I'm about to say G Cole. We would say Mighty Crown or myself, we can go and link with the artist them directly, and we deal with it and make it happen. But no, it's just it's not what it used to be. Of course, now don't get me wrong, Japan loves reggae. They love dancehall. Primarily, what you see out there, is dancehall events, and enough of them are going. Big up my brother Jagar from Black Ninja Song. He's keeping some really nice dances. Mostly on the dancehall side. Like I said, it's not necessarily my energy because I'm one who prefers to go and listen. But I lie. If it's up to me, we wouldn't listen to not much straight reggae. I mean, of course, dancehall, reggae, they are both reggae, dancehall, but I mean, if you go into the depth of it, reggae.
Trust me, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
The difference is, and it just not really my scene. So I will pass through all of vibes, big up the people in this whole event because we show love who show love to us, but and we support those who are sharing music, which is sharing love. But when it come on to me and myself and my preference, I need to see the live outdoor dance, reggae dance, live band in Japan again, and that's something that I would love to see work and make happen myself at some point. With the understanding that eventually I'm probably going to have to pay for the entire cost for about 3 years before it reached back to where it was. So, so that's why I haven't started yet, but but it definitely is in mind on something. Something that's
true.
Yeah, man. It's real. That's how business works. A lot of people don't understand business. If they're gonna start a show today and tomorrow everything go nice. No, man, it don't work. So you have to, in any business that you start, you have to be prepared to foot the cost for about 3 years if you really want to make a true profit.
Right.
If you're doing it right. And sometimes it will kick off right away, miraculously, just like artists. Some of us, we take time and we build our machine so that when we reach where we want to reach, everything is set so that we know that quality will always be brought. Consistency will always be in place. Whereas you have some artists that boom, right away, hit right away. And you have some artists hit right away and gone right away.
Yeah.
We're not calling them, but just I said.
True. Very true. Very true. I always wonder about that because it's almost like it's like the theory of the promised land. You know what I mean? A lot of times the promised land is just a promise. It used to be promise. It used to be whatever you thought it was, but in real time, the promised land is a promise. And I always wonder. No, there's one thing I do notice with what you do also is, again, I keep using the term Far East because you ain't close to home by no means. It is you far. You know what I mean? So
well, yeah.
Geographically speaking, geographically speaking, you out there. So because right now, what time is it? Your time now?
9:49. Call it 20 to 10 a.m. on Tuesday morning.
Right. So you're not a future, right?
No, Lato number. No, ask me about nothing.
Damn, that's what I was. Oh man, I was about to ask you for the Lato. It's all good. It's all good. But what I do realize though is this: you're, like you said, when the music is coming out, because we're in the era you can put out stuff yourself, but you go through a tough gang, right? Which is not just a reputable institution, not just a reputable distributor of music, but it is also what you'd like to call a tenured, established, rooted part of the thing. You're talking about coming from the days of gang, right? So there's something cultural, historical, and factually reggae about Tough Gang and whatever it puts out. Is that something also by design that you feel like, okay, unless it comes through an outlet like that, and I'm saying Tough Gang just because that's who you use, but it doesn't have to be Tough Gang. But is that something in what you do, why you do it that way, in terms of I have to keep something Jamaica, even though I am halfway across the world? You do have the band in Jamaica, which in itself would represent the Jamaican half of the coin, right? But is there something that you are holding on to by not just doing everything there in Japan?
It's a power and an energy that I get. That's the reason why I use Tough Gang Studios. That's the reason why I work with those, Tough Gang staff through the studios and then up through the ranks of Tough Gang International, including Russell, Misha, all of them. I've been with VP, myself, Rebel Souls, and Tough Gang is where I landed, because again, the energy that I got, it was something that came to me that I had the feeling that it was something that I should do. And that's what I do. I lived a life before where I used to try to force things, force this to do that, and I got to a place where I realized that no, man, it don't work that way. Anytime I try to force stuff, it don't work out. But when I just let it happen, I follow my vibe. You see, whatever I'm feeling, it typically works out well. So that's the vibe I got. When I was already working through, my family, most of my roots in my family are from Trenchtown. So, and through Culture Yard and everything. So it's kind of a route already for me. It's in the roots already. So it just kind of naturally progressed into where we ended up, because we were at Grafton at first. That was our root studio with Dean and Taras and Dwayne Stevenson and all of we were on there at Grafton, I worked. And then Taras and then moved over to Penthouse, and then we moved over to Tough Gang. And when we got to Tough Gang, the energy that we felt was just that energy that we felt, that we believed to be targeted towards us, I guess is the best way to say it. You see it. Because I felt it was really guiding me, and energy. I said that in the documentary, as a matter of fact, and I didn't explain it, and I still can't explain it. I don't know if it's Bob's energy. I don't know if it's just, that I know the history of that studio. I don't know what it is. I just know that there's an energy when I'm in Tough Gang, and when I work with people who are working with Tough Gang, that is just a positive energy. It makes me want to do great things.
Wow. Wow. I love that. And whether it sounds cliche or not, it kind of brings home some form of authenticity, especially the fact that, again, you are creating, it's not about a Japan thing here, but you're creating music somewhere that is not predominantly reggae. You're in somewhere where most of the influences that would come your way are not reggae. You know what I mean? Just a lifestyle culture. And when people, that's the reason, I think that's what people are getting at a lot of time when they question when people who are non-Jamaicans do reggae, because there's something about reggae that is not just music. It's culture, it's feel. And that's why a lot of times I deviate from using the term reggae and say Jamaican music, because we got reggae, we got dancehall, we got a whole bunch of things. And in that mixture is a feel. That's the reason why, I read an article about the Rolling Stones drummer, which is one of the dopest drummers. And he said the hardest thing to play is reggae because it's a feel. It's not just technicality. It's not just rudiments. It's not just technique. It's a feel. In adverse to many others. So, I always wonder about that. Let's talk life a little bit. Being inspired, staying inspired, again, so far from home. Culturally speaking, how do you deal? Well, you're dealing well because you've been there for however long, but how is the culture vibe there in adverse to being home in Jamaica for you?
I wouldn't say I'm dealing well. Drake can tell you. No, I'm not. As I feel bad to say it that way, but I mean, I can't say I'm necessarily dealing with. I'm living. I'm living. But that's how we do it as man. If you're really a mixture, so you have life. I think you were talking about that earlier when you were saying, certain things we have a responsibility. So yeah, I'm being responsible. Making sure the family is taken care of. But when it comes to vibe and really dealing when it comes to music, it's it doesn't feed my soul the way Jamaica does. And you know, I actually was speaking to when I went live. I go live every weekend, no planned time and no planned subject, just unfiltered. And I went live recently, and one of my brethren, Triple Five, big up Triple Five, linked me. And we were talking about similar subjects, about whether or not an artist needs to be in Jamaica in order to make truly authentic reggae. That wasn't necessarily how he put it, but it was kind of to that direction. And I had indicated that in my particular case, I needed to be, in order to get my band the way I wanted, the sound that I was seeking, they had to be from Jamaica. And I had to take time, years, to get the right musicians that matched with the color we wanted, as well as our own vibe. But as an artist, you know, the vibe, I mean, I won't say, all right, say for instance, dancehall. We were talking about the difference between writing a reggae song on dancehall. You know, something that I even spoke to DJ Kenny about one time, when he says that sometimes he'll make more dancehall mixes than reggae, because almost every day there's a new dancehall tune. But reggae is normally something that, you know, that tune will ride for a while. And that's because typically when we're writing something that the subject matter is timeless. Whereas in a lot of the dancehall, not all, and a lot of the dancehall tunes, they're there in Jamaica and they're speaking on what's happening now, today, what happened just now, right now. You know, if someone bus shot over and some, you know, like I remember back in 2008, one picnic that did in Spanish Town, and almost every tune was surrounding that topic, you know. So that's how it goes in Jamaica when it comes, you know. That's why when, you know, some people say you need to be in Jamaica in order to do, no, they're talking typically about those particular tunes.
Real-time social commentary.
Yes, you know. But when you're talking about reggae, for me, yes, I do get I guess I could say I write easier, more fluid when I'm in Jamaica, because I can step right out on the veranda and right away something licked me. Whereas here, it's a little more isolated. You know, when I say isolated, I mean, I can't really walk out the door and see nothing that's gonna inspire me. So my inspiration has to come from within, you know, and I have to kind of seek it and find, you know, whatever feelings. That's why I said that a lot of the songs that you hear on this album are not necessarily love songs, because I was inspired by the things that I was feeling right here in this single room, you know, this room. I'm not leaving these walls, you know, and I start thinking about things that are happening, you know, and even the trials and tribulations of trying to get things done in Jamaica. And those who live foreign know already what I'm talking about. You know, it's like pulling teeth, you know, it ain't easy, you know.
All your teeth.
And sometimes you want to give yourself down a stick, you know. You see it, so, you know, so
true.
You know, that's where, you know, those tunes, a lot of the tunes you hear, that's where they come from. You know, even the tune back in the day, Honestly Speaking, where everybody want to say, yeah, honestly, you know, let me be honest with you, and I'll live something there, and then 10 seconds later you get the real story. So, you know, just those things. So that's what you hear. Yeah, bro. You just hear that. You can hear the difference. So you hear most of the love songs I wrote on this album, and then the one song, Heart in a Tangle, those were done in Jamaica, and then a lot of the others were done here. Now, there are two tunes I could say. The weather, like for instance, I stepped out on the veranda one day and I was trying to write this song. I had this rhythm, and I couldn't find it. And me and Shot Boss were there watching one film, and the film was done. And I just rolled my chair out onto the veranda, and the rain was falling. And right away, the lyrics hit me. You know, All Alone tune. Standing in the rain, can't stop the pain. He's in love with her. He lives for her, and he worships her. She doesn't even care. Oh, loving in her heart. He's all alone. Just came to me. Standing in the rain, can't stop the pain. He's in love with her. He lives for her, and he worships her.
She doesn't even care. Love ain't in her heart. He's all alone. Something about the glory days. All of the dreams were real. All of the love was sweet. Over time, she changed her way. Blinded by the ways of the world. Standing in the rain, can't stop the pain. He's in love with her. He lives for her, and he worships her. He doesn't even care. Oh, loving in her heart. He's all alone. She changed the way she looks at him. No longer sees her king of hearts, only the diamonds and gold.
Yeah.
There's something I feel in the songs that I call simplicity. And I mean, it's beautiful
Yeah.
music, but it's simple and to the point. That's what I love. I don't know if you feel that way sometimes, where I'll go in the studio and by the time the song reaches the masses, right? The time the song reaches the ears of the masses, right? It's probably been rewritten and redone 10 times. The concept is there, the concept's the same. But if they ever heard what was the day one version of this song, you know what I mean? It's almost like it's
Yeah,
complicated. It's like it's complicated. It's like I pick it out and
Yeah,
simplify it.
exactly.
But I love it because it sounds very simple, very to the point, very profound, and the message cuts through. You know what I mean?
That one actually, like I said, that's one. I mean, some of them write themselves. You know how it goes. You have some tunes where you see something just give you a vibe and boom, tune done.
Yeah.
And then you have some, like you just said, it takes. I mean, if I go on this other computer right alongside me where I'm write my tune, you find so many different versions of so many different tunes that I've done. What is it? The tune I wrote with the guitar that took me forever. Because I was working out the chords, same time I was working out the lyrics, and I was like, no, but that now I catch, and then I was like, the tempo not good. Let me change the tempo. See, I'm up and down, back and forth. It was a madhouse in here when I was trying to write certain tunes. And same thing in Jamaica. Yeah, I fully agree with that. There are tunes that you start one place and end up completely different road by the time they finish. And sometimes I'll write a tune. I've had times where I wrote a tune and sent it to Shot Boss, because the first person that ever gets the tune when I'm done, the only person that gets it actually is him.
Right.
Nobody else gets to hear it.
Right.
He hears everything I write first, and then he critiques it and gives me what he wants changed before I let anybody else hear it.
Right.
See? And I've had times where I wrote tunes and sent it to him and said, "I'm never like it."
Right.
And I tell the brother, that's kind of that's something that you as I said, you're a writer, so you know already. That can mash you up, because sometimes if you're there and you take time and even all night to write a tune and you think, yo, I hate that. Yo, wait till Shot Boss here, I want it. And I like it. Just about show you. It's about weird, man.
Damn you, Shot Boss.
But the good thing is, there's never been a tune where it was men I like it. That's where the tune. It's normally men I like it because you do this,
right?
Or while I rest, voice it over again and send it back. And then sometimes when my voice it, me hear where my talk, because I say, but how am so monotone right here? So let me add a little, because All Eyes on Me is one of them. I wrote the tune, sent him everything was done, but then when I actually voiced it, I was singing was it All Eyes on Me? No, Thank You. The Thank You tune, one with me and Dwayne. I actually voiced that tune, and my first verse was very, very monotone. Melodically correct. It was in tune and all of that stuff, but it was not. Well, I shouldn't say melodically correct. I should say it was in tune, in pitch, and all of that had a little vibe, but it wasn't melodically correct because it was just monotone. I didn't sing anyway. I didn't give it any kind of a real melody. So that's when Shot Boss was saying, "Yo, go in there and find the sub melodies. The melodies behind the melodies." And I went and held the rest. And like I said, when I came in back and I listened, I saw what he was talking about and voiced it over.
Right.
I actually got lazy. I won't lie to you. When he first said it, I was being lazy, and I said, "Send me back a melody." Cause already, as I said, more time you take time. One heap of time to do a tune. And you reach a place where you can't really. You feel like you exhausted every option that you had in your mind. And you send it to him. You say, "Yeah, man, this is bad. Hey, I found it finally after I did all this work." And then he says, "No, man. Go back to the drawing board and dig in and find the melody behind the melody." And of course, I'm happy that I know what that means because that's almost code to some people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody come tell you something like that, brother. We are talking about melody behind melody. Send it. Give me
you want your melody? Send on a melody then, Shop.
Somebody tell him, "Send me back a melody, brother. I'm gonna go on my bed." I actually knew what he was talking about, but again, I didn't know what he meant. But I couldn't hear. Let me say it that way. And I went to my bed and rise in our lights and listened back to it. And before he got to send me anything, I immediately started voicing.
Right.
Because I heard it immediately. Because more time you have to just hold a rest and come back and listen. And you yourself, if you're a musician or artist, you know already.
Right.
Sometimes we just need it validated. Or somebody, because I probably, like I said, it took me forever to write the melody I had already given him.
Right.
So somewhere in there, I knew that it wasn't right.
Right.
But I got lazy, like I said it to him, and he said, "No, man." I guess it hit me more because I knew better. Like the little picnic go to school, and you're not on the business. I do that, but I can do it anyway. All right.
Say after this, I tell you, after this, Sharp Boss, I gotta start send back things for spite. No, I want it perfect. Sharp Boss, go find the melody behind the melody, my lord.
Yeah. I don't know jokes still. I'm bad thing that, brother, about melody behind melody. Yeah,
I love it though because
I saw him deal with people, but I'm gonna tell you something else. I don't know if you know Dean Fraser, of course, but I don't know if you've ever been in studio with Dean.
In studio, no, but just here.
That is Dean Fraser. All of them, something that we are here right now, we're Shot Boss. Dean Fraser, the two of them stay the same way. The two of them is like this. You see, them used to tour for many years.
Right.
Two of them, and you don't know how it is with musicians. Sometimes you share a room or certain things. You dip on the road in your par and go, drink or whatever you do. So yeah, man. Dean is I guess you say a sensei or a senpai as they say in Japan.
The guru.
You see it. You're right. Done. So a lot of things he does. If you're in studio, actually, he's a little worse than Ryan sometimes when he comes on the studio. Being a rump, run you from the studio, and if you come in there with foolishness, man. Ryan the same way. Ryan will give you a little bit more rope to hang yourself than Dean. Dean no rump. Yeah, man.
But we need that doing it because I honestly think the reason why we don't get from reggae music what we should, and it affects us on an international scale. From a commercial standpoint is because quality assurance is lacking. And when I say quality assurance is lacking, people are going into studios with people who are going to tell them what they want to hear. They're going to, they're also, I feel like this. I don't want to be in a studio with somebody. I don't want to ever be in a situation where I'm the most talented person in the room.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be in, while I love and respect what each other does, I don't want to be in the room with people who are too much fans of my work.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
then they hear and they see everything if from the fans' perspective.
Mhm.
And if they're not at the same level of talent, and I get me wrong, it's no disrespect, no indictment, because I can't do what they do. You know what I mean? I got friends where their professional skill sets way outweigh mine, right? But when it comes to creating some songs and some melodies and stuff like that, that's what I do. So that's not their avenue of expertise. So if I bring them in the studio, no matter how mediocre it is, it's still above their skill set. So they're going to find it amazing.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
So there's no good, there's no wealth, there's no health to that. I feel like I need to be in there with people who I am trying to catch up to their skill set.
That's
Like
right.
going in the studio with a Dean or a J Vibe or whomever
You
the
know,
case may be.
I'm glad you say that, because early on we were touching on a similar subject where I was saying surround yourself with people you trust to give you the information you need. But the information you need now, further expounding on that, is what you're saying, people with the true understanding of what it is you're doing. You can't just have anybody in there, because one thing's for certain, those who know Jamaica, you have no shortness of people with opinion. You have no shortness of that. No problem. If you want opinion, you get opinion.
They got it.
All belong, But that don't mean that the opinion is going to be the right opinion.
Right.
Because in Jamaica, when we're in the studio, everybody and their mother is in the studio. See it.
Yeah.
So you have people, and you're not able to tell somebody come out, in most cases, unless it's a closed session and you lock down the place. Anytime someone can pass by, you see it. Any artist. I'm in the studio, Dwayne Stevenson passed by. I'm in the studio, Dean Fears passed by. In the studio, Taurus passed by. In the studio, Junior Gang might pass by. Mikey Spice. I sat in for most of Mikey Spice's brand new couple of albums. He did 2 albums same time, by the way. But and they bad. But anyway, my point is no shortness of opinion. You see, and so you have to know that not only do you have the people that you trust, but the people that you trust to give you the correct information. And that is only going to come from someone who has the knowledge, of what it is that you're trying to, the goal you want to reach, and that was something that caused me to become a producer and an engineer, because I was finding that I could not find people who could produce my music the way I wanted it, mix my music the way I wanted it, none of that. So I had to learn myself. And then finally, my brother and I linked, and that's when I found that he was the person who could actually translate what I was feeling into music,
right,
and do it right. So, yeah, man, just it's important. What you just said is the most important message that people should know in music. If you're gonna surround yourself with people and you're gonna hear from people, they need to know what they're talking about. Yeah,
right. Larger podcasting. What? Groove Galore. It's a merch strong, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Blessings.
Damn them August people. It's maybe I'll be a trouble August people again, but that's a different show. So but big up Castic.
Yeah, man. Grooves Galore.
Groove Galore all the time, man. But
a lot of people don't know, by the way, that one of his artists, Dangling.
Oh, fire. Woo.
You know Dangling?
Dangling is fire. Yep.
Do you know who his original producer is, who brought him in the music business?
Nope.
His name is Mason Emperor.
Mad.
Yeah. And right alongside him, who actually brought him to me and was paying for the sessions for him to be in that studio?
Who that?
My first client, Dre. Just
Damn.
Dre. Just
wow.
Dre, DeAndre. Yes.
Large.
Right. I was telling you, we go way back. We come from far. Yeah, man. Me and Dre was actually the person who brought Dangling to my studio in Yokosuka, Japan, which is like 5 minutes from this yard I'm in right now. I had a studio down the road, and we call it the White House because it was a White House. But anyway, that was the first Rebel Soul studio in Japan, and Dre came in the studio with Dangling.
Right.
And
that's what's up.
Yeah, man. So,
artists are wicked artists.
And world smile, brother.
And that's the thing too, is that's why I have to live good with people, because
yes, man, live good with people.
You know what I mean?
Yes, man.
But I hear about the production side of things, and of course the artistic side of things. You also are a musician, a very adept musician, playing multiple instruments. Where did that come from? Because a lot of times, I'm always curious where the musician side of things come from. Is this formal? Is it informal? The influences for that. But how did the musician side of Mason Emperor come about?
Formally, violin and saxophone were my first 2 instruments, not by choice. Well, saxophone by choice, violin my mother's choice. when I was little youth, in school, and how it go. More time, the money not up like that, so you take what you can get, And at the time, I think violin was the only instrument we could get, or something like that. So I ended up playing violin for a short period of time, and then I found, I felt the saxophone was more cool. So I switched over quick and started playing alto saxophone. You see, those were in school formally. But after that, bass guitar, dabbled on drums, but taught myself keys, piano. That was the main instrument. That became my main instrument that I used to voice myself and also to teach myself harmonies and those things. Right. Yeah, man. So basically, that's how it came about, my musicianship. And then now I'm teaching myself guitar. And when I say teach myself, I'm actually, studying and doing things. But then, of course, you have, Shot Boss, who plays pretty much every instrument, and he'll I can tell you a story how he put one bass player to shame one time. We went in Culture Yard. A lot of people don't know. Rayan right now is he plays keys in my band. And most of the time when you see him, he's playing keys. But originally, he's a bass player. He went to Edmund Manley School of Arts, a school of music, as a bass player. Right. When Dean Fraser pulled him from School of Music as a bass player, he said, "You're going to start playing piano for Firehouse Band." So he was a bass player, just started to play piano for Firehouse Band. Wow. So that's to tell you how musically inclined he is. But bass, anyway, my point, I forgot what the point I was trying to make about that part. But music, as far as myself, music, how it came about and those things. I love music. I love to learn as much as I can, engineering side, like I teach my youths them, when you're out there, if you're going to start a business, my princess is going to International School of Business at Howard University. And I tell her, if you're going to start a business, if you're going to run a business, for us, there's really no choice. That's how we live. We have to own our own. Don't love working for people, but she has to surround herself or have the right people. With skills, but also you have to know that, at least have a little idea of every moving part of your business. Right. You can't just leave that to everybody else. True. Because then you that's basically setting yourself up to fail. You have to have people who know better than you if you want to go up. But you yourself should have some idea of what it is they're doing. So that's kind of my thing. I don't have to be perfect at every instrument or perfect at this or that, but I definitely need to know what it is that's going on before I relinquish it to someone else. Right. So that's how it goes for me. And what I was saying about the story about Rand, we were in Culture Yard one time. I don't mean to segue. I know you were asking me a question. I just answered it.
Go ahead.
Real quick, I gotta tell this story. We were in Culture Yard in Trenton. I don't know if most people know Culture Yard, but and big up my father, by the way, fairly bit. He's the Don around the Culture Yard. And we were getting ready to keep the annual show, Bob Marley show, in February, over at the park across from Culture Yard. And they were holding rehearsals as they normally do in the studio in Culture Yard. And so, they have my brother, Kid Rock, Twin Rock. He played the drums. And then they'll bring in some other musicians sometimes. And at the time, actually, we were producing Danglin. It was Danglin. Danglin was going to perform on the show that day, that week. And so it was Danglin's rehearsal. And it was a rhythm that I had produced. I played all the instruments for, and then Rand just, overdubbed some of the instruments. And then we had Danny basically play the bass, called the Pearl rhythm. That's one of the rhythms that I produced when I was producing Vibes Cartel. See, I had Vibes on there, I had Tony Rebel on there, Danglin, and about 16 artists, on the rhythm. And we gave the rhythm to the band, and the bass, he couldn't catch the bass. He just couldn't find the bass line to save him life. Right. And of course, all the way out there, I said, "What a bass is that? How the bass? You can't play a bass line, brother." Brother, let me tell you something. Ran there behind the keyboard. Because he's my, as I say, he's my producer. He's with me anytime it's music or band where I deal with. If he's the only musician, he will coordinate everything with everyone. So the only musician from Rebel Souls was Ray. Then you had some a bass they did bring in, a young youth, one guitarist, and then Twin Rock on drums, and I think they had one next keyboardist. Anyway, Ryan reached across with one finger and touched the frets on the bass and played the bass line for the youth.
No.
Brother, I shame that man. Yeah,
Disrespect.
and the man reached across for the keyboard and say, yo, see it here? Boom, boom.
Oh, damn. Yo. No, you go home after that. No. Nah.
Yo, but the youth did catch it right away still, but I lie, brother. I have to leave the place and go laugh after that youth.
Wow.
Yeah. I shame that man. I'll reach over one finger.
Wow. No, sir.
That shows how bad Shot Boss is too at the same time.
Right. Dre said vacate the building. Jando star.
Yes, man. You see.
Nah. That rough.
Yes,
But you know something though, it's no different from us talking about you coming up and Russell being able to say this and Shot Boss being able to say that. That might have been a little embarrassing for him, but I guarantee he's a way better bass player as a result of that.
Yeah, man. Right, he did, like I said, he catch the line right away, and it actually showed love. You know, we kept the link with him. You know,
right. Yo, I dig it. No, the album is out, ladies and gentlemen. It's called "Jah Bless Me." What was it? What was the release date when it come out again?
The 22nd of July. So 7/22/2022. By the way, that's Dre trying to draw a card upon one of the artists when they say we born with this.
Yeah.
Dre, I draw a card because me did run somebody from the studio one time after him coming in and never have no rhythm.
Damn,
you know, around that studio neither, you know, because as me say, for a long time I had my studios and I was just letting other artists come in and voice, and I would build them the rhythm on the spot. Because I am one who believes that your soul, the soul of the song, originates from whoever creates the first part of the song. And that may come from the rhythm. If Ryan goes and builds the rhythm, that soul of that actual song came from Ryan.
Yeah.
See, so when I used to have rappers come into me, because at the time I had my first studio here, it was mostly rappers. Even Danglin, he wasn't doing reggae at the time. Danglin was doing rap and R&B type stuff. I'm the one that told him, brother, you need to get back into reggae. And I told him that you go to Jamaica, and I actually went and took him to Jamaica.
Wow,
you see it.
So he was in Japan at the time.
Come on, he was in the Navy. I was in the Navy. Dre was in the Navy. Well, I had gotten out the Navy before all of them, but I'm just saying we were all in the Navy at one point, which brought us to Japan.
Oh, that says a lot. That answers a lot because I got to work with Navy people all the time. Yo, crazy man. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
I still do as well. I still do contracts that I'll take for the Department of Defense.
Right. That explains a lot, Dre. Okay.
Yeah. But I was in the studio with one rapper, brother, and the youth in there forever, brother. I try to catch the rhythm, and I'm gonna say, but what go on, brother? Because it's not like, you know, like I said, I build the rhythm for them because I feel that the soul must come from them. So I would make them come in, and I wouldn't bust, you know, say, yo, listen to this beat, listen to it. No, man, start rap. Yeah, you're right to rap. Yeah, man, start rap, and I would build the rhythm right away, right this one on the spot, and make them go in that booth, go voice it.
Right.
And then you couldn't voice the rhythm. He couldn't catch the rhythm. And his wife did it, and she go in and go voice her part like that. And the man still there for, see that, 8 hours for one bar, brother. 8 hours in that studio, brother. And eventually, me just lock off the system and cuss him and say, brother, come out that studio, brother. We're born with this, you know. I'm born, brother, you know. We're born with rhythm, brother. Oh, you for spend 8 hours and I say, man, I'll take no more of your money, brother. Come out that studio.
Wow. And wife left him?
Yeah, man, 8 hours.
I'm so stuck. Yeah, that rough. That rough.
And gone like that. The man left 8 hours to try voice one bar, brother. And it's not a joke, you know. It's not exaggerating nothing.
Wow. Can't go. I'm gonna talk to a loud though. If you're not 8 hours and can't come, my wife come drop her to you. You gotta humble yourself when you get home.
Yeah, the wife could rap. She should. Right now, she's not an artist, but she should have been.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Wow. Anyway, yeah, that's right. Dre said that too. Yeah, he's right. The youth was late 4 hours at that. And me no ramp, you know, me charge you when you're late, you know. I charge you every 12 hours a you pay for. I never get nothing done.
Wow. And I'm sure some people be like, yo, business is going to take the money. But for you, you're a creative too. So a lot of times it's like deflating, demotivating.
No, man, me no ramp them with them, man. And if you make me start drop asleep, I tell you, come out to my studio. Come on. If I drop asleep, if you ramp, the matter come in our studio.
No. Right.
No, because you yourself you're an artist. I'm an artist. You take time and you're perfect. Well, I wouldn't say perfect. No one's perfect, but you take time and put in the work for perfect to go towards as perfect as you can in your craft. And if you're not going to do that, then you shouldn't be in the business. Too many people think that the music business, artist, musician, whatever it is supposed to be some easy thing. And, you're not like, you're not going on a slave again. You're not going to go do construction or whatever it is you're doing. You're not going to go do music and make it easy. You're not just relax and go and sing. No, man.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's
a
lot.
If you truly love the people that you're supposed to be sharing love with, then you should be taking the time to make sure that you're bringing them.
I love that.
That means your voice, the production, the finalizing of it, whether it be mix mastering, the marketing, the graphics, the artwork, the videos, interview with, and when you touch the stage, if you don't rehearse yourself and bring them love, because that is what it is. If you're rehearsing, you're taking the time for them and yourself.
Yeah. True.
So that's the love. You see, but if you're not going to take that time, then it's it's disrespect. I'm gonna tell you something.
Very true.
Just recently, me and my Empress, we've been going to some football. We have season tickets for this one team. And me walk out the other day. We get vexed. Wow. Man, them beat them like not even a try. Wow. And this is the problem. After about 20 minutes in the game, the man them lose stamina and it look like them never try. That's why I walk out. Because you have all these people in the stadium. I show you love. To support you, and you're coming in and play one lax game. I give you all
comfortable complacency that you take it done by already. Yeah,
it's a disrespect to me and everyone in there. And everybody see Japan don't normally do them type of thing. They're not Japan. We're just sitting there, and just go and clap. No man, come on, no offense. Yeah. They don't look at me like, where am I going? I didn't feel the disrespect.
Yeah.
Because I disrespect that, brother. I'm not paying for season ticket for come check you, come watch your game, come support you. And I take the time, make sure so you have the stamina to go from the beginning to the end of the game. And then your job is, and y'all get millions of dollars.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Disrespect that, brother. Come out to that place. And it's the same thing when it comes to music. If we're not gonna respect ourselves and respect those who take the time to purchase our music, love our music, love us.
That's true.
And it don't make no sense.
That's true, and it goes back to respect too, in terms of, a lot of people don't respect the craft. Most people are themselves. They're in the anticipation of the end game. What's going to happen on the end game? The success. So it's like almost seeing platinum without recording the record. You're seeing platinum without putting the effort in, and then of course you're seeing recording the record without putting in the rehearsal, and you're seeing the stage without the rehearsal, and that's the reason why when people come at the show now, we getting that lackluster thing on the stage, because it's just and the unfortunate thing right now too is this part of it is an issue for me. I had to put that back up on the screen. Dre said he yelled at me the first time in the booth, but
yeah, I did.
Dre's still vexed.
Now, man, they go in there before we set the microphone and put on the headphones. So minimum I make him deaf. So I tell him, come on, ever put on the headphone before we set everything. You see me?
Dre's still mad about that. But that's what it is, though. The unfortunate thing right now, I even bring it to broadcasting, to doing this. I think we're in an era where everybody thinks they can do it. And it's not to take away everything from anybody, but let me tell people this all the time. There's certain things that people can do. I can't. I know my skill set. I know what I can do. I know what I cannot do. But I think what it is pretty much is I have respect for my craft and what people do. Sometimes people say, okay, what I can do is I can fire up a camera, or I can get behind the microphone. I can sing, whatever the case may be. But no, you know what I'm saying? It's just not. Put the time in, put the effort in. Some things come naturally to some people, and some things you got to learn. Some of your favorite vocalists are taught vocalists. You look at the Boyz II Men of the world. Them guys were taught to sing. Now, get me wrong, they got natural talent, but they could read music and sing that mess, right? And then you have the Jodis of the world, which is just raw talent. So, but either way, you got to master the craft, whether it be from a formal standpoint or a straight up just raw talent standpoint. Without the rehearsal, without the practice, without the effort, you're just another talented guy, or it's just potential.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
And it ain't worth it. and it's not worth it to you or the people who you have. You know, some people even ask me more time, why am I not on certain shows or whatever? And because I don't actually, I mean, I know a lot of people. I can link a lot of people and say, yeah, you know, but at the same time, I am one who believes somewhat in the old school way of thinking, and that is due diligence first. I need to make sure that my music reaches the ears of people.
Gotta earn it.
So that when a promoter calls me to go on a show, he or she will know that I did my part.
Right.
You see, you can't put it all on the promoter to do everything for you.
Yeah.
You know, you have to do your part. You have to get your music, you have to have quality music. It starts there first, and then go from there to the marketing. Let people know where you are, who you are, you know, and then you go and you know. So it's all about the right thing, you know, the right process.
Yeah.
You know, and I am actually someone who is educated in quality assurance and quality control. So that aspect does come into what we do.
And that's I think that makes it tough too. You know, myself in my 9 to 5, it's QA and a whole bunch of, like I said, we work with the government, DOD stuff, right? So, but quality assurance is the gig for the most part, and that's quality control, and for that reason, it's a little challenging to do anything and ignore the quality control part of it, which unfortunately, I think that's what's going on in music business right about.
True. I can't say nothing more than that. True.
Let's go. Let it be. Listen, it's almost that time. Let me ask you this. The album "God Bless Me" is out right about now. I feel like responses in how people, well, first of all, I feel like how people consume stuff, how people digest stuff, how people respond to stuff is different based on where they are in the world. Like you mentioned, just not a perfect example. People being in them stadiums in Japan and the team now do nothing but them still, the humility, the humble that they, you know what I mean? That can't go on the national stadium of Jamaica, right?
No,
you ain't they're not just walking out to be throwing stuff, but
exactly all the beginners and the dragon back in my flick.
So it's a different thing. But dropping Jobless Me. Let's go the corners right now. What's the reception been like in Jamaica? What's the feedback been like in Jamaica since you dropped that?
Well, everywhere actually. It's been a great vibe. Positive. Positive
nice.
Vibe. You know, like I said, I haven't received anything negative from anyone. Everyone has their favorites. I know that over on the England side, All Alone is one of the favorites. Actually, someone told me that that's a true UK lovers rock.
Right.
Early on, you know, that's what I was told. I don't know. I'm not from UK, but I love that. And big up the UK massive as well. They give me a great support, you know. But in Jamaica specifically, I mean, I've always been received well by those who I hear from. I mean, I don't know everyone, and I don't know how everyone is receiving it.
Right.
But the feedback that I'm getting is positive.
Nice. I love that. I love that. And the question that we get a lot of times is not musically in terms of, because we stereotype when it comes to reggae and dancehall, you drop an album, not even just a single, you drop an album Monday, and by Wednesday, Monday, they say, you're not new. But that's the unfortunate thing about our music that makes it so disposable, for lack of a better word. I will also say thank you, and I appreciate putting out albums, because we're in a time and an era right now where we're not getting full projects, full bodies of work to tell the story. And that's what I get from God Bless Me. It's not just scene one, you know what I mean? It's not just act two, it's the entire play from the opening curtains to the closing curtains. And I dig that about that. For you, what do you, I don't want to say what's next in terms of what are you planning on doing, but what do you want to be next for Mason the Emperor and the album God Bless Me as you go along this journey?
Well, of course, I mean, the I guess you'd call it the typical response is what it is when it comes on to the album. And that is, of course, we want it to reach the masses. I mean, again, everything that we do, we pour a lot into it, and all of that is love.
Right.
So we're sharing love. Of course, when we share love, we want someone to receive it.
Yeah.
And in they're receiving it, then we receive love. So naturally, that's of course what we want for the album, for it to reach the masses. You know, we want people like everyone who's here on this, you know, listening to this, who will listen later, share it out. You know, let people know what's going on. Let people hear Mason Emperor, Rebel Souls family. You know what we're doing. You know, the love that we're sharing, the music that we're doing. I can say that it's great music, not just because I participated, because I know that there's so many great people who have been involved, including yourself.
Right,
G
right.
Cole and Homegrown with G Cole, who's sharing it out right now. So that's what we want. As far as me myself, people always ask me where I see myself 3 years, 10 years, 5 years, and my response is right where I am.
Right, right.
And what I mean by that is I want to always be where I am, where I'm sharing truth and sharing love. As long as I'm able to do that, then I am content. Naturally we'd like to be out there touring, which we do see very much in the future, for near future, us being on the road and touring the world. That is definitely a goal. But aside from that, me myself, me becoming content. I am content in that I am doing what I feel is great music.
Love that. Love that. Love that. And it is indeed great music. Like I said, I can personally vouch for the masses out there in terms of it's a good listen. Sometimes I have a little bit of that Japan in me where I am going to sit down and say, all right. But I got a little bit of the other in me too where I'm going to walk out the stadium, right? So, and don't get me wrong. I got a lot of music that I've had to walk out the stadium. I've had to be mad because I got season tickets to this crap and I got to walk out the stadium. It is what it is. So whenever I do get some music that I can sit down and soak it in, I'm very appreciative. You know what I mean? And I think what I love about it too is pretty much is, like I said, it's easy listening. You can put it in and everybody can listen to it. You ain't got to censor it for nobody. You know what I mean? So for that, I'm eternally grateful. The US side of the fence, no. I mean, we feel left out sometimes, because sometimes artists I go to Jamaica, I go to Japan, or whatever the case may be. We just feel like a redheaded stepchild over here, and said, you know what I mean? We ain't getting no love. So talk to me. Any plans for the US? Any plans to hit up the US?
As far as shows or whatever, then of course our intent is to, like I said, tour as soon as possible. I don't have everything lined up that I can speak on now. We are putting feelers out, speaking to everyone we can about pretty much everywhere, from Guam to Australia, US, UK, European region, everywhere. The only two places I haven't touched on yet, and that's by my own design, is Jamaica and Japan. Because I'm saving those, for a latter part. But other places, yes. Depending on how things work out, I may end up back in Jamaica first. That's just depends on how things are working out. But no, I mean, actually, me myself, I typically don't tell people when I'm going anywhere unless it's a show. Right. I'll be in the US actually next month. For a couple of weeks, I'm not performing yet. Well, I can't say that. Let me not say that.
Right.
I won't say anything as far as what I'm doing as far as music's concerned, but I do have plans to be there for other personal reasons. Like I said, my princess is now at Howard. So I'm going to check on her, as well as one of my older youth is actually having a picnic as well. So
right. Mad.
Reluctant to say it, but that makes me a grandfather, don't it?
Grown folks. But congratulations on that.
Respect. So granddaughter, I should say, is on the way. So I shouldn't be putting that out there in the public. I'm probably supposed to not put that out there. Huh? Rewind.
Yep. We ain't editing nothing. She
gonna
go mad at you like when you fix a shot bar. Yeah.
I just said, go ahead. Yeah, man. Like I said, my eldest son is actually in DC. My oldest son. The princess is now in DC, but she was born and raised here. My oldest son was born and raised in DC, and then I have my younger son, born and raised in Japan, who actually plays for that pro team I was telling you about. So he himself always, actually, I'm not trying to big up my son, because he's not at the pro yet. He's at what they call under 18. You know about football, right? Yeah, so he's under 18, and once he graduates, then if he does what he's supposed to do, he'll become pro. Right. But I'll tell you, on the under 18 side, the man them not around, them can't lose. But on the pro side, the man them need to do something about the stamina.
Because they're already comfortable, man. That's what it is.
That's the problem. Well, that I see it, because even some of the youths they brought in from Brazil who play for the team. One thing that vexed me with them is they'll have a perfect opportunity in front of the goal to put in, kick it in, and instead of just knock it in and get the point,
they want something fancy,
kick it over them head and all them something.
Yep.
And everybody in Japan start clap like, yeah, that was a nice try. No, man, Try the man, all them have to do is just bump it in that goal, and the man want to go showboat and miss.
Yeah.
Ball gone way over, so.
That might be what they came to see.
And you see, like say the keeper catch. No, man, ball gone way over, so.
It's all good. That's how I feel about a lot of music nowadays. So
for real, you know what I say, yeah, man. For real.
It's I go over the club, go over the goalpost. My brother, listen, I will say this. How I feel about this album, and I'm hoping I get to see this. It's one of the albums that there are a couple of albums that come out sometime, and I say, yo, I want to hear that live. You know what I mean? I would love to. I'd love to sit in and catch that one live, and not necessarily on a big stage or whatever. And I'm down for that too. But I'm talking about like an intimate setting for hear that live. I want to hear Conversations in the Dark live. You know what I mean? 6-piece band up there, harmonies live. You know what I'm saying? 20 feet from the stage. You get me?
It sounds good when we're in rehearsal. As those who don't know, Rebel Soul's family band, they've actually been rehearsing since 2018.
So they're ready.
And we were ready to touch the road in 2020 to promote the Lovers Rock album and the single of Conversations in the Dark. But of course, the pandemic hit. So now here we are with God Bless Me released, and we're hoping to tour for all of it. We have plenty of tunes out there.
I'm looking forward.
And I can perform for hours.
Right.
Plenty of tunes. You'll see it. That actually happened. I won't lie to you, but that happened to me on Cool FM. In Jamaica. We were there actually, like I said, we were ready to tour, so we had started doing things, and then the pandemic hit. But prior to that, we went on Cool FM and did a performance, my band, and there were 2 other bands that were slated to perform after us, and one of them, like, they didn't show, and the next one, something did go on with, I don't know what happened, but the 2 bands never get to perform. And of course, normally this show is for newer artists, and by all rights, while I may have been producing since forever, I'm a new artist. So they expected me not to have so many tunes, but they're the ones say, yo, the next one can't go on. You have more tunes? If me have tune, what the next tune? So the man said, and it's like every second I'm gonna say, yo, this is, you have any more tunes? Yeah, man. We ended up doing the entire show.
Wow.
The entire show. And when I started, we was ready to knit. You want one more?
But it's funny. That being said, though, where's your? I mean, you are quite adept in the production side, in the producer's chair, behind the board, in the booth, behind the instruments, in the studio, and also loving the stage. Where is your place of preference? If you got to be stuck on the stage or stuck in the studio, what would you take?
On stage all day.
On the stage.
I never did the stage. I never, man. When I used to, because other things people don't know is I used to perform a cappella. I used to put together a cappella groups and tour Japan, which actually got me to the point where I ended up being background vocals and touring with Mariah Carey as her, for background. And one thing that used to hit me every time before we get on stage, I would see other people getting like, shit. Excuse my language.
Right.
And me, I started to get more of a when we are going on stage.
Ready for them.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love stage, I love perform. And like I told you, from a youth, whenever somebody come, if family there, friends, whoever passed through, take up one tennis racket and start doing like a Michael Jackson or whatever I'm gonna do,
Yeah,
man, I love to perform. I love to, and it's not really, for me, it's not really about performing, meaning I'm standing up in front of you to do something. It's more about me holding a vibe with you.
Right.
You enjoying yourself, I'm enjoying myself.
The connection.
Yeah, man. When people come to a show, they, if they're paying money to enter a venue, they're not there necessarily. I wouldn't say that people are there necessarily just to see you. I would say perform, yes. Entertain, yes, but I'm not sure the right way to put what I'm trying to say. But I think it's more about they came there for a great vibe with you.
They want to get something.
You don't have to separate yourself as if, I'm, no, we are here. I came here to have a good time too. I didn't come in here to perform just and not have a good time. And you didn't pay to come here to watch and not have a good time. The two we came here for the same goal. We both want to have a great time. We're here together. We're in it together. You see me? Yeah, man.
Not true. And I always feel like when I go to shows, if that's not happening symbiotically, and it's like the show ain't connecting. And don't get me wrong, I've left shows with huge names and that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I've left shows with names that are not as big, and that did happen. I felt that connection, you know?
Yes.
So
yes.
it's just about the way you do what you do on the music itself.
You know, somebody who I think is underrated when it comes on a performance, but one of the baddest I've ever seen on stage is Anthony Cruz.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. I don't see a lot of people looking at, you know, I don't see him perform as much as I thought he would. But when I seen him perform, he's really active, really, really, really a great performer. I enjoy his performances, Anthony Cruz. Yeah, man.
I must agree. I gotta echo those sentiments. There was a show that went on in Jamaica. I think it was just like during the pandemic type of show too, where he did a performance. It's almost like one of them versus kind of challenging vibe. And you know, let's call a spade, vocally not the best in the match. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like when you have the verses here, Mario and Amari, like, yeah, vocally you're outmatched. But
don't me and Jay talk about that all the time. You know?
Yeah, it's like yeah, but the performance and the delivery was so good that he won the battle. You know what I mean? So big up yourself, Anthony Cruz. My brother, drop some social media for these masters out here watching, because they gotta follow you wherever you are.
Well, everything is the same. We make it easy. Mason Music, MASONMUZIQ.com is the website. That's the hub. And if you go there, you're going to find everything. If you just want to go to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, SoundCloud, same thing, MASONMUZIQ. But we always encourage everyone to go to the hub, the website. That's, like I said, MASONMUZIQ.com. Everything is there. If you want videos, as we call them, music film, photographs, if you want the social media links, anything you're looking for, you'll find it there, including background information, everything on Rebel Soul's family band as well. Yeah, man. Everything goes through the hub.
Well, I on behalf of the masters listening in, and you know, all the supporters, those people from near and far that's listening right now, man, I just want to say thanks so much, not only for vibing out with us today, but for our great album, our great body of work.
Give thanks, brother. Give thanks. We give thanks to you, of course, to Homegrown with G. Cole and Jamaicans.com and the millions of different radio stations. I can't call all the names that you have linked to, you know, this broadcast.
We're going to send them the audio. All
right. And everyone everyone tuning in, you know, we give thanks for taking, you know, you're taking your time and vibes with us. You don't know, it's love every time.
Pleasure, bro. Pleasure. Big up Dre, big up the entire team, big up Sharp Boss, big up Rebel Souls Band, and everybody. And I'm gonna leave them with a tune that I really, really dig off of this album. It's called Gone Again. So I'm gonna slide out with that one. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. If you haven't yet subscribe to the podcast, Homegrown with G. Cole, available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Radio.com, wherever you're listening to podcasts, we're there. Subscribe to that, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and of course, follow us wherever we are at My G. Cole. We got more joints coming your way. It is Miss the Emperor, all the way from the Far East, rocking out with us today. My brother, give thanks. See?
Respect.
Blessings. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Gone Again.
You're gone again. This time it ends. This road is done. You were never gonna be the one. 'Cause I cannot see. You've blinded me. This love is lost. I cannot pretend to love you again. That's what we do every time.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Things we do when we think it's love. Sacrifice self, please someone else. In a matter of time, we live in hell. I say yes, you say no. I wanna go, you don't wanna go. My heart says love, yours says never. I should've never, ever tried to love you. You're gone again. This time it ends. this road is done. You were never gonna be the one. Cause I cannot see. You've blinded me. This love is lost. I cannot pretend to love you again. It never made sense to break up, make up again, to break up. I don't really know what's in your heart. I don't play games with matters of the heart. I say together, you say apart. I press stop, you press start. This will never end till you break us apart. I don't see the reason why you ever let it start. You're gone again. This time it ends. This road is done. You were never gonna be the one. Cause I cannot see. You've blinded me. This love is lost. I cannot pretend to love you again. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the album is called "Ja Bless Me." Missing the Emperor. Solid body of work, trust me. Nice, easy listening. You're gonna love it. If you haven't already gotten it, add it to your collection, all right?
This time it is.
Hit them up on social media.
This road is done.
Fresh M1, tell him, say, yo, so Florida, I said, wagwan. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah.
You blinded me. This love is lost. I will not pretend. You're gone again. This time it is. This road is done. You were never gonna be the one. I cannot see. You blinded me.
Nakikinig sa música Homegrown with G. Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G. Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G. Cole.
You're listening to Homegrown with G. Cole.
I got it for you. I know you've been asking, yo, can't drop it one more time? Okay. If it's a big tune, it is what it is, right? Gotta do what we gotta do. You said it, we got it. Conversations in the dark.
Talk. Let's have conversations in the dark. World sleeping, I'm awake with you. With you. Watch movies that we both already seen. I ain't even looking at the screen, it's true. I've got my eyes on you. And you say that you're not worth it. You get hung up on your flaws. But in my eyes, you are perfect as you are. I won't ever try to change you. I will always want the same. Swear on everything I pray to, that I won't break your heart. I'll be there when you get lonely. Keep the secrets that you told me. And your love is all you owe me. And I won't break your heart. Sunday mornings we sleep until noon. Well, I can sleep forever next to you. Next to you. And we.
Thank you so much, Hope.
Places we both got to be. There ain't nothing I would rather do than blow off all my plans for you. And you say that you're not worth and get hung up on your flaws. But in my eyes, you are perfect as you are, as you are. I won't ever try to change.
Thank you so much for rocking. I appreciate you. I got to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Swear on everything I pray to, that I won't break.
Again, today's show is brought to you courtesy of Scented Delights. All right, the dopest candles right now. I love them. last up to 73 hours. Dope, 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 dope. The longest lasting ones out there. And of course, smelling great. I'm coming out a lighter to light the candle, but you see what I use it for, right? For launch out that thing. You know what I mean? It's Mason the Emperor. Thank you so much to Mason the Emperor for passing through. All right, again, the brand spanking new album, God Bless Me, is out right now. Go get it. You're listening to Conversations in the Dark. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. Miss Emperor, thank you, sir.
I won't break your heart. Oh, when you get lonely, yeah.